I've not used this before, so I'm just trying it out.
Hey man, it's been too long since we sat down and that just feels wrong. Allow me to give my head a shake, open my eyes and fix a mistake. Do you wanna come over? Just like the old times, we'll hit pause and then hit a rewind. You wanna come over? Just like the old days, and we'll watch the time just fly. Hey buddy, no strangers here. These times I hold them dear. My door's open, so come on in. This was great, let's do it again. Do you wanna come over? Just like the old times, we'll hit pause and then hit rewind. You wanna come over? Just like the old days, and we'll watch the time just fly. Do you wanna come over? Just like the old times, we'll hit pause and then hit rewind. You wanna come over? Just like the old days, and we'll watch the time just fly.
Hey, we're back after a short bout of illness, which seems to be happening more and more these days.
Right.
We're back again. We're back. We're talking toys, our favorite thing in the world. How are
We're
you,
here.
Gazz?
I missed you, buddy. Where
you been?
Hmm?
Where you been?
I've been here. I've been there. I've been a little everywhere. I've been sick. I've been working.
Yeah,
About it.
I've been sick and working too. Sometimes being an adult sucks. But today we're talking about being an adult toy collector.
This guy. No. No.
The guy, yeah, this guy, the scary guy looking over us right now, the guy that's looming over us. Yeah, the disgruntled adult toy
This-
collector.
What do you mean you don't have it?
You know what? We got too much hair to be that guy anyway. Hey, I'm going to do the clubhouse roll call real quick. We'll say hi to the people in the comment section, and then we'll get on our way to do the show. If you want to be part of the clubhouse roll call, you just got to be a channel member or a Patreon supporter. We have Wilhelm, Toy and Hobby, Casey Wheeler, Ratface44 Reviews, or as I call him, Handsome Man Ratface, David, Samuel Blaine, our mate Nate, the Retro Tinker, Cindy K, Sonny's Sundries, Jonathan Sorensen, Happy Accident, Joshua Allen, our buddy Adam from Go Figure. Then we have Scuba Pete, who keeps us safe in the oceans below, our pal Phil from Treasures for Trigger, Hans Chow kicking that door in, but he puts it right back up again, Ken Poe, Brendan Haley, Jason Clark, Grind Jim, Justin Bryant, and Spooce Commander, who keeps us safe in the space above. Then we've got our channel members, which is Cindy K, Gazz, hey, that's you, Peter Ray Bob, Spacey, Jason Stillwell, Ryan Sweeney, Keep On Collecting, Joe Recondo, and Crash. And then we'll get to the comments. We'll say hi to everyone. Stephen is Hall. Stephen was here and says, hello, everyone.
Hello,
So we're out of practice.
Hey,
Woodman 29. Woody, how are you, buddy? Joe Fan 84, how are you, my friend? Sonny Sundry's coming in with a g'day, mate. We got Hyperdelic. What's up, folks? That's not one I recognize. Possibly new or changed the name. I don't remember seeing Hyperdelic in the chat before. Welcome to the clubhouse. Coming in at number 1, it's G-Force Racing 20. Zombie Hunter 115, but we know that Zombie Hunter's number 1 in our hearts.
That's right.
Frostbite's G.I. Joe Repro's coming in with a good morning. It is morning here in Australia. Does it? Looks like someone has a channel on YouTube. Does it? Nolan's here. How are you, buddy? I'd have a beer with you too, but it's a bit early, so I'm going with coffee this morning.
It ain't a beer, but hey.
It ain't a beer, but it's all good. Drink what you got. But thanks for tuning in, guys. I know it's been a long time. Hey, we're also talking about toys that we do have. We're also going to talk about toys that we did have. And we're going to talk about what it's like to have a collection, how to maintain that collection, and what collections we've actually given up on. Because I've found lately, Gazz, I don't know what it's like in your neck of the woods, but people are starting to sell out.
People are starting to sell out?
not selling out, maybe, I don't know, but
Sell
selling
their
out, getting their
Yeah.
collection out of here, maybe selling out
Yeah.
too. Who knows?
Yeah.
Speaking of selling out, Gazz, in the description, I've got your Instagram. I've also got the channel members. I've also got the Patreon links. I also have a Super 7 link if you want to go and check that out too.
Super 7. Oh yeah, the O-rings. You see that Telemax and Z-Mark? Oh yeah.
So good.
Oh.
Zero natural.
Welcome.
Dude, how are you, my friend? Sorry, I said neutral. Natural. It's a natural. I can't read. And Droz Walker
Droz.
9.
Wow, it's like dude I haven't seen in a while. Hey, Droz.
How are you, buddy? What happened to the other 8?
He's the only Droz for me, man. That's for sure.
Yeah. We'll change that to Droz Walker number 1.
Yeah.
The one and only. Thanks for jumping into the chat, guys. We appreciate it.
Yes.
It's really interesting to see so many different time zones happening.
Yeah.
When the internet's great for a lot of things, like getting people together. It's sometimes we get full of garbage too. Now, guys, I got a little bit of a story.
Uh-oh.
Let me go first. What were you
I was gonna say on the time zone thing. It's funny. I've known you for like what, almost 2.5 years now. I still can't get the time zones right. It feels like forever, but I still can't get those time zones right.
I can't get it right either. Usually before we go live, I just double check and I'm like, what time? How many hours ahead is that? So
He sends me a message. Says your message is, we'll see you in about an hour and 20 minutes. Yeah.
Yeah, maybe. I mean, that's okay. So it's 8:30 p.m. Monday on the East Coast. It's morning here. What time do I have? At roughly 10-ish.
Okay, that sounds good, man.
In the AM.
But in the clubhouse, we're all on the same time.
That's right. We're 24 hours.
Yeah. You know what
Maybe
I noticed?
20.
You know what I noticed doing this with you is that I do a lot of hand gestures. I don't know why.
Yeah.
It's
You know what we need to
freaking
do?
me out.
We need to get puppets.
Oh yeah. Some Grover
Right? And then every time we do hand gestures, it'll be like a little puppet show.
All right. So what was the story?
Yeah, I got a story for you, Matt. So how often has this happened to you, right? You see something coming down the pipeline and you're like, that's pretty cool, but it's not for me.
Yeah.
Right? You can appreciate what it is. And you're like, oh, I see what they're going with there. I'm not going to go with that. So you let it go. Right? You're like, I'm not going to worry about that. Now, there may come a time where it's like it's on clearance, right? And then you're like, oh, you know what? This is actually going to sway me a little bit more, and I'll pick it up on clearance. Oh, we got Fandom Power podcast showing up. How are you, buddy?
You guys.
See, puppets were a great idea. We've hung out over at Fandom Power podcast quite a bit. Good stuff.
Yeah, they're fun.
Oh, so here's a message for you guys. Been away for a real good reason, such as going back to school and getting settled in a new city. That is a great reason.
Good luck. Oh, great news. Good luck. Hope everything's going well for you, Droz.
Yeah, man. I hope.
Welcome to the clubhouse, buddy.
Yeah. Thanks, buddy. So it goes on clearance, and you're like, yeah, you know what? Maybe I'll get it now, right?
Yeah.
Or maybe you're like, it's still not really for me. I like it. It's better price.
Yeah.
But I'm still not going to pick it up. And then, much later, after they're almost gone from like it's years down the track now, and you're like,
years.
You finally cave in, right?
Yeah.
And you're like, you know what? I'm going to get it. It's been out for a while. Maybe some more figures in the line have also come out, and you're like, okay, this is gaining some momentum. This is gaining some speed. Maybe I'll actually start to get into this line, or at least check it out and see. Maybe it's a one and done.
Yeah.
We already have the best theme song already done by Adam, our buddy from Go Figure, who was just at Joe Fest not long ago. And Pericles, Dragon Ball Z, evening. Good morning, bud. This is a long way around to go to tell you what I've done, which is
just keep going, man. I'm like,
I've only gone. let me bring up a prop for you. Oh,
Here we
actually,
go.
I've got an announcement to make. First of all, I was going to do it at the top of the show, but I'm going to do it now. Cutthroat Comics has an announcement on his. We've had him. He was our first guest,
He was. Yes, he was. Good guy.
So he's going to be auctioning off a piece of original artwork. We do things by the phone. Please do not let my terrible phone dictate the quality of this print. But do check out Cutthroat Comics on Facebook for a better look at that. There's going to be an auction coming up, so you can own an original piece of Cutthroat Comics art. The comic's not quite out yet, but the art is spectacular from what we've seen. And all proceeds are going to a good cause. If you want to find out more, do check it out on Facebook, won't you? Check it out one time, won't you? So let me show you what I got, guys.
Where is it?
Should I do the clip?
Yeah, do the clip.
I'll do the clip.
I like the clip.
I have the clip. I might as well use the clip. Do this.
Check it out one time, won't you?
I love it.
I do too. I like having a catchphrase. Now, oh look, got to meet Adam's son, Grayson. Yeah, he is a really cool kid. I've met him too. I got to stay at their house. We had good fun. I actually, I took over one of their bedrooms and I had to bunk together. His daughter and son had to bunk together. Now, as a child in the 80s, having two brothers, there's no way I'd want to share a room, but they did it so that I could come and hang out. So I appreciate that. Do you want to have a guess at what
you got?
Yeah, have a guess.
I don't know. I have no idea. What you would butt.
The clues are it's been out for a while. More have come out in the line.
Okay.
And I will also say this was, I think, the first one that they brought out.
Okay, so how old is this line?
Only a few years. Let me see what the box says as far as the date that it came out. I'm not sure. Maybe 4 years, maybe less, maybe 3. I don't know. I think they've got 3 in the line now.
3 in the line.
The 4th one rumored to come out.
Are they scaled figures?
Yeah, that's part of it is. Part of it is.
Scale figures. What scale are we talking? Are we talking like our favorite, or are we talking like 6?
Yeah, 3/4.
3 3/4.
Yeah.
3 3/4. Been out about 4 years, 3-4 years.
Maybe 3 or 4. I feel like it's been about 4 years. I could be wrong on that.
Did you get some Eagle Force figures?
No, but I do want some Eagle Force figures. I should double check I can't find a date on this box. There's a clue. It comes in a box.
I have no idea. I'm drawing a blank.
What was the date on this one? I'm not reading all this small print. Just all right. I'll give you another clue. All right.
Okay. All right, what's the other clue?
It's a crossover.
It's a crossover.
Yeah.
It's a crossover. Oh, you get some. Oh, you get the little Star Wars figures. No.
But those are pretty cool too. Some of them are cool. The ones that they didn't.
Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles.
No.
No, man. I have no idea. Did you get some
around every other line other than.
Did you get some reaction figures?
G.I. Joe.
Oh, you got the Walmart guys. Yeah, I got that too. Yeah, I got that. I had to get it. Yeah, that's cool. I like the blue lights, except for the back end. It's freaking perfect.
Yeah, so the back end doesn't bother me too much.
It doesn't bother. Yeah, but it
so they got that port in the back there, and I reckon what they could have done if they were going to do anything. Not that it bothers me too much. Like it really doesn't.
I know where you're going with this. what do you call it? The anniversary desert all striker, that tan one, that all the cool stuff had like a stand on the back that you could attach.
Well, it definitely feels like something, unless I'm missing a piece, it definitely feels like there should be an attachment. But they could have added an attachment to block the back off. And again, it's not really too much of a hassle for me. I don't really mind it. It's almost like, because robots in disguise, like Transformers were weird, right? Because they were robots in disguise, but they had obvious Autobot symbols on them. So this is just like a carryover from that. It's like, we're in disguise, but not really. It should have been Beachcomber. Mate, I don't disagree with you. However, now that they have done this, they could make an Eco Warrior version and make that Beachcomber, which would be a little bit better. And I know you can see the yellow arms a bit underneath, but that doesn't bother me either.
It's actually pretty sturdy in All Striker mode.
Yeah, I was honestly surprised at how much I enjoy it in All Striker mode. So for full disclosure, I wasn't going to go in on this line at all until they brought out the Megatron one. And the only reason why I wanted the Megatron one was because I didn't have a Baroness in my collection, and it just seemed like an easy way to get a Baroness, right? But I was neither here nor there as far as the his tank Megatron was concerned. It's like, it's just whatever, right? But then I was fussing around with the Megatron, and I'm like, this is actually pretty good, right? This is pretty cool. I do have the Megatron one. I do. So it goes right. I saw this. I'm not going to get into the line. I'm not going to get it. There's a sad story that goes with this too, and this maybe leans into my whole adult collecting mentality. Hey, Lilith is here. Good morning. So here's the thing, right? I passed on this when it first came out. I was like, this line is not for me. I saw the Megatron one, and I wasn't even going to get the Megatron then, but I was like, oh, well, I could use a Baroness. So I ended up picking that one up. But when I saw the Soundwave, I was like, dang, that one looks cool. And then the rumored cup that could be possibly a triple T with Sergeant Slaughter. I mean, I'm going to obviously have to get at least 100 of those. Opening Sarge for the collection. My only hope they bring him out in maybe cartoon colors, something a little bit different. Yeah. And the robot mode is a little bit loose in some of the joints, but that might just be my particular one. Do you have this? Sorry, Gazz, did you say?
I do have it. Yeah, I do. I did. That's the one that I wasn't gonna get them, but I really wanted to because of the figures. But I'm like, I couldn't justify paying that much for just the figure itself. But I was like, but I'm like, if you buy the vintage ones, they could be even more. Yeah. So I was like, I'm gonna pass on the Megatron. But when I saw this one, I love the Off-Striker, so I got it. So now I'm debating, but Megatron's on sale, so I might actually pick them up.
I'm glad that you mentioned sale, right? So I was happy with Megatron, right? And I was just going to leave it at that, right? I thought Soundwave was pretty cool, but I didn't see that until later, right? But this guy was on clearance when Megatron came out. Yeah. But I still passed on it, right? I still passed on it. I was like, it's just a Bumblebee or Striker. Bumblebee's nobody's favorite Autobot. Let's be frank, right? He's popular, but he's no one's favorite.
He's all right.
Does that make sense? Like, nobody says Bumblebee's my favorite Autobot, do they? They're like Jazz and Prowl, Prime.
Well, I mean, if you think about the small guys, I mean, how many like Bumblebee?
Even Beachcomber is better than Bumblebee.
Would you like Cliff Jumper? Would you like Cliff Jumper? Because he was a Porsche 944 Turbo. I was like,
happy accidents here. You don't stay, but saying hi. How are you, buddy? Thanks for dropping in anyhow. Leave a like on your way out. We appreciate it. So this was on clearance and I passed on it anyway, right? And I got these at JB Hi-Fi, which is, I don't know, do you guys have JB Hi-Fi?
No, we don't.
Well, I got this from JB Hi-Fi. I got my Megatron from JB Hi-Fi too. I almost want to say I got maybe Megatron on clearance. Like, it had been out a little while maybe. Yeah. Anyway, but I passed on him anyway.
I think he's on clearance on BBTS right now. Well, not clearance, on sale.
Maybe I got it. Sometimes I get my toys from Big Bad Toy Store too. Paraglider Warpath, those are some cool mini bots. So anyway, when they announced Soundwave, I was like, oh, I'll probably get Soundwave if I see it. These are notoriously hard to find, but I was like, if they have Soundwave, I'll probably get that. And then they announced that they were going to do a 222, so I was like, oh man, I'm going to get that too. Then I was thinking to myself, oh man, if I don't pick up a Bumblebee, then I will forever have, if I continue down this line, I'll forever have this line that's incomplete because I never went and got the first one, right? Mm-hmm. It's silly mentality, but it is what it is.
It is.
So they were on clearance for a really good price when I saw them last, right? Mm-hmm. I went back, and guess what?
They were even lower.
No, they weren't even on clearance anymore.
They went back to
the original sale price, and I'll tell you why, right? Because they're canceled, right? These are canceled now. They're not going to get any more stock. They can't order any more in. And their system, as they tell me, their system is that they can't actually change the price and reduce. Because I was like, well, could you give me a deal on it? They're like, oh, we'll have a look. They type on the computer and they go, oh, it's deleted. So we can't change the price on our system, right? So it is what it is now. So I actually walked away from it. And I was like, no, I'm not going to pay full price for a toy that was on clearance. I'm out of here. The next day I went back and I bloody well got it. So 24 hours. I was like, but for me, what's that, Gazz?
So you have two now?
No.
Oh, you passed on it when it was on clearance and then you went back to get it and it wasn't on clearance. All right. Yeah, I got you.
Exactly. So I didn't get it when it was on clearance. I came back and it was a deleted line, which meant they couldn't actually clear it anymore. They had to have it on their system. It's I don't know, maybe they were just lying to me. But either way, right, I passed on it again thinking, nah, I can't bring myself to do it. Slept on it overnight, decided to get it. But the way I see it is, A, if I had bought it when it originally came out, I would have paid full price for it anyway.
Mhm.
B, I passed on it when I should have got it cheaper, but didn't. And so as
Yeah.
punishment, having to pay full price, which, again, it's not like I paid scalper prices, right?
Right.
It's not like I bought it off eBay later on, like when it was really gone. But no, I picked it up and it was full price. But in robot mode, he looks pretty cool, but
It doesn't look bad.
it's a bit loose in the midsection. I'm a little bit chunky in the midsection, but this guy's loose in the midsection.
Me too.
But maybe I didn't transform it. No, it already came transformed. So I don't know.
Yeah, it was in robot mode.
Yeah, it's in robot mode. But I like it. And you know what else I like about this?
What's that?
Is that it really fixes that age-old question of scale, right? All of these transformers in robot or vehicle mode are in scale with each other and are in scale with the G.I. Joe action figures that it comes with.
Yep.
And you don't have to worry about, well, maybe it should be bigger or smaller or whatever. Also, as much as the yellow for Bumblebee sort of sticks out of the back, people forget that Transformers are meant to be robots in disguise, right? So they don't have to be something yellow. They just, like Bumblebee, they don't have to be. They're a robot in disguise. They don't, and I think that the cartoon itself actually forgot that, gave up on that trope very early in the cartoon, very early, like way too early in my opinion. Yeah. Because they just announced themselves to the world. It's like, oh yeah, we're here, whatever, right? And then nobody cared anymore. It's like, oh cool, Autobots or Decepticons, right? They gave up on the robots in disguise part. And so when it came time for G.I. Joe, not G.I. Joe, when it came time for Transformers the movie, they wanted to get new toys onto the shelf, so they killed off the old bunch. Just change the old forms of the old guys. They don't have to have one form. They can be whatever they want. In fact, a cool premise would have been if every so often they just changed their old form. They just changed it.
Well, I think in one of them, Bumblebee's like, I think he's like 3 different versions of himself. Like he shows up as one version, then he transforms into like a black version, and then he goes into the ultra slick yellow version.
Right? Oh, okay. Like
which is supposed to. But I always thought it was funny. You're supposed to be like in disguise, and yet you're the fanciest thing on the street.
Yeah, like Wheeljack or Sunstreaker.
Yeah, it's like you're supposed to be an ordinary car. So I'm thinking like Ford LTD, something like that. No. I'm a Lamborghini. I'm never going to see that in a certain area, but there it is.
There's a Porsche and a Ferrari and the Lamborghini, followed by a VW Beetle,
and a wicked cool semi truck with flames and all the whistles and stuff. Wow, man, that's cool.
And a Jeep with no driver in the front, unless you had Spike. Yeah, robots in your face. Sonny saying the cartoon is not really to be taken seriously. Yeah, I know.
Yeah,
I know.
We're just being toy collectors.
We're just riffing. Imagine a 30-foot tall robot turning into a normal size author P-38. Yeah, I know. It's crazy. I get that.
I know. They're robots. They could like, they might have like a thing where they could just change their size as well. Who knows?
Well, yeah. I mean, obviously for Megatron, they have to be. But I haven't taken out Stalker out of his package yet. I think he's actually still in the box. What I like about these boxes is that it feels, after you've undone it feels kind of like something special.
It's a pretty cool box.
It's top secret. I thought that this was a little bit, when I opened it, was a little bit more lackluster than when I opened up the, he's still in there. Opened up the Megatron one, but it's still cool. Well, Megatron's still my favorite one so far.
I have a little story about that too. So my OG Stalker, 82, 83, because I like the swivel arms. I don't like the strap. Right. So I got one of them, and his heel busted, so I glued it back. And I was like, I'm looking for a new Stalker. And then when this came up, I was like, I need a Stalker, right? Because mine's broken. Yeah. So when it went on clearance, I picked it up. Well, I want to say clearance. When they lowered the price a little, I picked it up, and now I have that Stalker, so I can put my other Stalker away, so you can be safe.
So you can put him in retirement.
Yeah, so I can play with that Stalker. So it's all right. The plastic feels a little different from the OG Joes, but that's okay. It's different. Yeah, like what? We're like 40, 50 years removed from 40 years removed from the original stuff. So I think it's a little different. A little different. Yeah, I'm good with that.
I found one more thing, right? That I'll show you.
All right.
I don't think you'll ever guess what this is, right? It's an action figure line that I don't collect. In fact, I
Okay.
wasn't even that aware of it, right? And I didn't get it for what it was, even though I do like the original series. So there's a clue. It's based on a series. Want to have a guess at what series?
When's the series from?
Like a long time ago.
Like a long time ago? Like we're talking 80s cartoon series or TV show?
I think it was either 60s or 70s.
60s or 70s?
Must have been 60s, sure.
Action figure line? The action figures from a toy.
No. So the action figure line's new, but it's based on
new. It's based on
yeah.
old stuff. I don't know. What would be an old TV show that they base new stuff on? Is it relatively like new, or is it like new within like the last like 15 years?
Well, I found it at the local shop very recently, and it was on clearance. It only cost me $19.
60s TV show.
Yeah, and this is a playset, by the way.
Voyage to the Bottom of the Sea. No.
Not
even close. Batman. Oh, Batman. All right, McFarlane Batman stuff. All right, yeah. That looks kind of cool.
So I
actually.
have opened it and pulled it out and stuff, but I don't collect the Batman, and I do like the Adam West, Batman and Robin, right?
Yeah.
But I'm not collecting Batman and Robin. I'm not collecting anything Batman. But I thought, and it was $19. I don't know if that's good for you guys in your neck of the woods, but it was it was way over that. Original price was like $50. I was like, never going to pay it for that. But I had some really cool like science fiction-y, sci-fi stuff, consoles and everything, and
60s doodads.
Yeah, all these doodads and doohickeys, and I had like you could climb up onto that thing and look over the edge and go, oh, that's probably not.
What was it? Is it atomic power system that powers everything in the Batcave?
Maybe. But yeah, Batcave.
I think that's actually kind of clever that they did that, because it's just pieces, I think, and then use the box as the backdrop, right? So you can actually set that up anywhere, which is clever. I think.
Yeah, it's okay. Like I'll be using it for anything other than the Batcave, though.
It's going to be the Sarge cave, right? The slaughter.
Maybe the Sarge, maybe it can be like a space station for Space Commander.
Oh yeah, there you go. Space station.
What's that?
I was gonna say, it does kind of give you that, like, some of the computers of that old school Doctor Who vibe.
Yeah, exactly. But it was on. I just looked at it, and I was like, "Oh, this is actually pretty cool." And then I saw it was on clearance, and I was like, "Okay, why not?
Cool. Why not? Sure."
That's kind of what That's kind of like what my collecting habit's been lately, Gaz. It's just been like, what can I repurpose this for, as opposed to what was it intended for. You know what I mean? You hear me?
I hear you. I think it's a good segment. This would be a good segment for our show. It's a random segment. Like, we call it, "Hey, what you got over there? What you got? What you got over there? What is that?"
What is that?
You said you brought a vehicle, so I feel it's only fair that I should bring a vehicle, right?
Oh, perfect. Okay. Cool.
I got most of this though from a good buddy of ours, Joe Ricondo. Joe, if you're out there.
Oh yeah.
Love you, brother.
So you guys caught up recently before Joe Fest, right?
Yeah. I wasn't gonna go, so I gave him a couple things to give to some people. But anyways, after last Joe Fest, I met up with Joe at another show, and he gifted me some pieces for a vehicle, and I finally got like one of the main pieces to put it together. It's not complete yet, but I got it right here, and I'm gonna show it to you. Are you ready? It's still missing parts, so it's not complete. It's not complete, which is okay with me. It's fine, but ready?
Yeah.
So yeah, what I got. Woo!
Oh yeah. Damn, that's cool.
I like that. I just need like a window. I got a couple of those lampreys in there. So the orange guy's gonna be the pilot, and then the other two guys are gonna be the crew.
You know who you'll never see in that?
Who's that?
Hydro Vipers.
Damn right.
Yeah.
Those guys, stupid Hydro Vipers. Yeah. So Joe, thanks a lot, buddy. You just gave me like the top pieces and a lot of pieces. I had to buy the hull, and then I got a few other parts that I need to buy, and that's it. And then it's cool.
Even incomplete, that is one heck of a cool looking vehicle.
You know what I have to say though? I remember it being a lot bigger, but then again,
you were small.
Yeah.
I had in recent times, like as an adult collector, right, revisiting GI Joe. So I think I was in my 20s, and I was trying to explain. I can't remember the name of the vehicle now. You might be able to help me out with that. But I was trying to explain this vehicle that I had as a kid in GI Joe, right? And I misremembered it, right? I was like, it was this giant rolling fortress of a vehicle, and you could fit so many dudes in it, and it had this foam spring launching glider on it, right? And my friend brings it out, and it was like so tiny. And I was like, oh my God, is this like a smaller version of it? And he goes, no, this was it. You were just a kid when you had it, so you remember it being bigger.
Was it the white avalanche thing with the ship inside the middle?
No. Oh, no. This was even
bigger.
Like it was basically just like the people that sit in it just sit in little holes on the top of it, right?
All right.
And I'll see if I can find it.
Was it it wasn't the Rolling Thunder, is that other one, the General, right?
No, it was way smaller than the Rolling Thunder. I was thinking it was the size of the Rolling Thunder.
I don't know.
Right? It's like I'm gonna have a look.
With a glider in it?
Yeah, like a foam glider attached to it. I'm pretty sure it was a foam glider. With a foam glider. I'm gonna Google it.
Who's Dragon Balls? He knows everything. He probably already
where's he at?
He's probably already getting in the chat.
I think it came out in the 90s.
I was out of Joe's in the 90s, unfortunately. Not to say that it's bad. Not to say it's bad. It's not bad. It's just, I wasn't in the Joe's then. Kind of dabbling in them now.
There was so much to choose from by that point, right?
Yeah.
Marvel stuff was coming out. You had like Toy Biz, looking at the Toy Biz stuff with Adam.
Yeah.
I mean, I was well into Marvel comics, so I was all in. Where is this?
When I saw those Toy Biz X-Men, I was like, ooh, this is what I'm reading, and these look good.
Right, and you've got like a limited, because you don't have a job, you're just a kid, right? So you have to pick and choose what toys you're going to have.
I was a little older when they came out.
I forget that you're old. You know, I sometimes think that you're older. You look so good for your age.
Oh, thank you.
So it's not the Sonic Boom Tank. So think of the size of the Sonic Boom Tank, right? Oh, well, that was the Street Fighter version of
Dual vehicle with a glider. Came with a glider. You sure it had a glider, right?
It had a launching something, and I'm almost certain it was a glider. And it was in the 90s, so it was.
This is
early.
Shoot the shit tech right here.
Yeah. We're just gonna go to 3D Joe's and look up 90s vehicles. 3D Joe's 90s Joe vehicles.
I just looked up. Oh, it's just showing me gliders.
Yeah, I made that mistake too.
Vehicles with gliders. We'll figure it out later.
Yeah, we'll figure it out later. I'll do it now.
Somebody will say it.
But yeah, we'll find it out later. Anyway, the point of the story is that it was a lot smaller than I thought it was going to be. Much like your with the boat. Which
I'm gonna say, even though I've seen this and I have it, right, and it feels like, because I had it as a kid and it was huge, right? This not so much huge, but I didn't have the whale as a kid, and when I bought the whale, I was like, damn, this is huge right now.
Right. Well, yeah, but that also goes with Castle Grayskull too. I'll look up Attack Cruiser. Give me a sec. Attack.
Is it G.I. Joe Attack Cruiser?
G.I. Joe. Let's have a look. Yep.
That's it. I'm pulling.
I'll show you. Let me show you a picture. I got it.
Yeah. Oh, there it is.
Yeah.
All right. That's not, doesn't look that big.
Right, and it's not.
That's probably the size of what? It's probably the size of a Wolverine, right?
That's it, buddy. Thanks for finding that. Yeah, it's but in my eyes, as a kid, I was like, it fit like so many Joes. It had a launching thingy, and I remember it being like a lot bigger than that. And this thing is tiny. But yeah, that was it. 1991. Thank you very much, Leanie. Appreciate it.
See,
that would have taken me way too long to find. But yeah, it was the Attack Cruiser.
Attack Cruiser. That looks pretty. It's pretty cool though. I'm not going to say that. It's like a drone. It is. Well, it is a drone. Yeah, and it's got that camel sticker in the front on a black body. That looks cool.
And that was during times where they stopped including figures
No.
with vehicles.
It looks
which
like
I
one of
thought-
those. It looks like a crazy Mad Max vehicle. With the truth,
Yeah, I mean, I liked it.
it's like a
Um,
full wheel. It's like a full wheeled motorcycle with a sidecar.
Mm.
It has a launcher on it. That's kind of cool, actually.
Yeah,
Damn,
I
his
think it's
wife is
cool.
probably not going to get it. Oh, prick.
Next time we go to Joe Fest.
Make sure the Joe Fest is on my list. Yeah.
Yeah, we need an intact flying glider. Intact.
And then we'll launch the gliders off the steps there over the whole
Yeah.
show. Try to
If,
hit some people.
if Scuba
You can
Pete's
take out-
there, then we can try and land it onto the flag.
Flag. Have them running around with the flag.
Perfect.
Oh, that'd be funny.
Have we got anything else that you wanted to show off there?
Well, I have a
Yeah.
bunch of stuff that I want to show off. See, now we're showing our stuff.
Yeah. Let's see it.
Okay, so this one I've been waiting
Look at
for a long time.
Yeah.
And I think you know what I'm going to be showing right now.
Yes, this was actually
Yeah.
what gave me the idea because I wanted to see these.
So 2 years ago I saw this on BBTS. I had no idea what it was, and I'm like, wait a minute, that's my guy.
Mm.
My guy. You
That's
can't
the
see
guy.
it, but you can't see it though. But here
I
he
can see
is.
it.
Finally, after 2 years. Hey guys,
Whoa.
what? It's Ace Hunter. It's Ace.
That is so cool.
Look at that. So I'm gonna do a little customization though, because I'm gonna put these straps around his chest, to hold, like the way it looks, and then I got to get a little side thingy. But yeah, look, he's got his little thumb.
So what do they call him though? Do they call it Ace Hunter? Or
His
no?
name is Maverick.
Okay.
Maverick. I have the card here somewhere. Hold on. Oh, wait, hold on.
Where's he
I'm
going?
back.
There he is.
I'm back.
Puppet comes up.
Right here, let me take it off this flashy
Oh,
bit
okay.
here. And I have the card here. Thank you, Fresh Monkey Fiction. I think it is, right? Is that the guys who did this?
Not sure.
Yeah. Fresh Monkey Fiction. Yeah. So here's the card, Maverick.
Nice.
I like how they
Yeah.
do that, for the collectors. Even though I'm not a collector, but I will be keeping this. And
Oh, you
they
got it.
cleverly worked in. You notice, Eagle Force Mega Strike Force leader right here, Maverick.
Right.
Right.
Mega
Even
Strike.
protecting the world from tyranny, just like the beginning.
Yeah.
But then on the back, what did they do? It says Mega Force Strike Force leader.
Oh, nice.
And so I was super excited to get this. I was like, "Ooh, there it is!" I saw the charge go through, and I was like, "Yes!" I was like, I actually did what Duke did in the movie. I went, "Ace!"
If there was an action figure made for one person, it's definitely that one. And it was definitely made for you.
I can't say that I'm probably I know there's other people out there that are huge Megaforce fans, and I hope they got this figure. So it's a great figure. And then another one that I got at the same time was Eagle Force's version of Jack Burton.
Yeah. Nice.
Yeah.
Hang on a sec.
Yeah, so that's actually pretty cool. It's pretty good looking. I mean, he's got camo
Yeah.
pants, but that's all right. It's the aesthetic. I don't figure that Jack would be walking around with the same clothes on all the time, so that's cool. And when I get over there, I also got this, one of our favorite X-Men, and I can't believe how good this is. And I don't normally buy Marvel Legends. I do have a couple, right? But I don't normally buy them, even when I was collecting like classifieds, like hardcore. Well, I'm gonna say hardcore, but I guess you can say hardcore because I was trying to get every one of them, right?
Yeah.
I used to look at the Marvel Legends and think, that Red Ninja or that guy could fit into my world, but I didn't really do it. But so when I saw this, I put this on pre-sale and I had to get him, and it looks so great. And there he is, Cable.
That's that boy.
Get that dude.
Nathan.
Look at that face. Look at that. He looks so stoic.
Yeah, that looks cool.
And he's got the classic X-Men look. So
yeah,
I was trying to find some new weapons for him because I don't really like the guns, but whatever. They're cool. They're kind of like
a little bit based on his Street Fighter versus Marvel Capcom.
Yeah, that's
game,
right. It does look like that, but he does look like this in the comics as well.
Yeah.
So it's cool. I dig it. Anybody with a bionic arm, I'm all in. It's cool.
Remember when
And then-
Bishop had a bionic arm for a little bit?
Yeah. He was like a bad guy too. And then there
Yeah.
was one. This is my last thing. Even though I did pick up the rest of Delta Force 17. So Ken, Steven,
Good
I
stuff.
love that line. I got Shadow Dragon. And I
Mm.
was like on the fence I was on the fence with Jaguar, but now that I got him, holy crap, it's a good figure. Great figure. You know what? I'm gonna show him just in case. Excuse me.
Yep.
I'll show Shadow Dragon. And what a good figure. What a good
Well, it
figure.
looks
I
like
got
they had a
them-
pretty successful weekend on the Delta
Yeah,
17.
they did. Look at that. I got him.
Yeah,
I have him
that's
over.
cool.
I have him over there with his Akami, and he's like telling him to go kill some dudes. But man, what a cool dude.
Nice.
What a
Yeah,
cool
that
dude.
is
What a
cool.
good enemy, like for Snake Eyes and Storm Shadow. He's
Yeah.
like, what? I'm gonna take you guys on. But yeah, the whole line is just perfect. I love it.
It looks like a final boss in a ninja video
doesn't-
game.
He's such a great. I remember when Steve was like showing us some of the pre-work. Remember
Mhm.
back in the day, and I was
Yeah.
like, "Dude, Steve, this is gonna be crazy." And then the last thing I'm gonna show, and then we can continue to talk. I got this a couple of weeks, a month ago. I did a trade with Crash,
Oh, yeah.
and he sent me this, and I think it was just after we did our show on mythic monsters and stuff. Remember that?
Oh, yeah. That was a good one.
Yeah. So he's like, "Hey, I got this. You want to trade?" And I'm like, "All right." So he sent me this. What?
Oh, nice.
It's Yeti. So it's the GI Joe Yeti from like the early 2000s. Yeah,
That's cool.
it's fully posable and all that stuff. I'm like, "What? Duke's gonna have some adventures chasing this guy down." Woo!
It looks so clean.
He's so cool, right? So good. He's like, what's up,
Yeah.
dudes?"
That's badass.
It is
I
cool.
would soil myself if I came across that guy.
I'd probably give him a hug.
Right.
Bring it in.
He'd hug you back. He'd hug you back. That'd be in the news. Man hugs Yeti.
But yeah, I was like that. I think he originally it was just for, I forget what I traded for him.
Hmm.
He wanted a Shockwave. He classified, he couldn't find one, so I ordered one, and got it for him. But then I sent them a couple of Cobra Troopers too. I was like, I
cool.
feel that's unfair. It's like an unfair trade. I was like, it's just a $20 guy, and you're giving me something that's worth a lot more. So I threw a couple extra stuff in there for him. Crash is such
Crash
a good
is
guy.
a very generous person. He gifted me the USS Flag
He did
from
me.
Joefest last year. I can't believe it's been a year since
Oh,
the
right?
last Joefest. So we had a little bit. We're not going to get too sad on it because we had a great time last year. We had a spectacular time, but we had a conversation the other day, and I was like, man, I feel sad that we're not there this year because it was so full of camaraderie, good fun, good laughs, and I went back and watched some YouTube videos of last year's one to see some videos that, from people I don't even know on YouTube. I was like, oh, I'll check this one out.
Yeah.
There's so often I see like you, me, Hans, Adam in the background. I was like, oh man, it was such a great weekend. And it looks like they had a great weekend this time too. And so I was like, happy for them that they all had a great weekend. But man, I wish I was there.
Yeah, I was kind of living a little vicariously through their messages and their old pictures they said. And I'm like, it was so much fun. So much fun. I remember sitting around Saturday night, I bet you they're all at karaoke right now.
So
Saturday
Breakfast with Sarge was a great event. I loved it.
Mhm.
But I think arguably an even greater event was Breakfast with Hans.
Oh, at Waffle House. Man,
Waffle House
That
Breakfast
dude.
with Hans.
that
that guy.
That guy's a legend. He's a legend amongst just a legend. That guy's like,
He's
Nobody like
so
him.
funny, and he's very witty too. And I feel like Roddy Piper level of wit and humor, right? Just has something very snappy, right, ready to go on any topic. And it's always a pleasure hanging out with Hans. But obviously, we also got to hang out with Adam, and Adam being a non-drinker, right? And still coming and hanging out and watching us get ridiculous. That says a lot about Adam's patience as a man. Because if you've ever had to be sober amongst a bunch of people that are wasted, it's not exactly the most fun environment, right?
No, it isn't. I've been in that situation before. It's like I'm not a real big drinker either, but on occasions.
We gave it a good go.
Yeah, we did.
But we're hoping, fingers crossed, that next year we can go to PowerCon.
Maybe, yeah. Hopefully,
cool.
that
That
would
would
be
be
too. think that's in Ohio. And I think in Ohio there's a, correct me, I don't know if somebody can correct me wrong. There's a big toy store in that area.
Well, I've never been, so I don't know.
I think it's called Kokomo Toys, where they literally have like sky strikers just hanging from pegs, like tons of stuff. I think it's within that vicinity.
Well, do you remember? Sunny Sundries was the designated driver. Unfortunately, yeah, that sucks, man.
I've been in that situation too.
I've never been a designated driver, Gaz.
You don't drive.
No, I don't drive. You know why? Because you can't drink and drive. So why bother?
I guess.
So did you come to that toy store in Augusta?
I did. I didn't get a chance to go because I showed up on Friday afternoon. It's like a couple hours before the actual event started, and then I was gone. I think I left Sunday night. Yeah. But I didn't get a chance to go to that. But that's on my I'm planning to go to next Joe Fest. So if I do, hopefully I can get a chance to go there, go down and maybe a day or two extra, than just the
check it out.
I think that was
the town itself was quite nice. Like it looked like it was some of the buildings down Main Street. I don't know what the Main Street was called, but the Main Street.
Well, usually Main Streets.
Some of those buildings looked like really old and not just decrepit. They looked great.
Right out of the 40s and the 50s. Yeah. A lot of towns here in the U.S. I like that. Like, not 5 minutes away from me is like my downtown of my town, and it's literally like just a bunch of brick buildings, like going down a road, and like there's an old movie house that's converted into something now, and all that stuff. And it looks like something out of like Back to the Future. Yeah, like it did have a like an old timey feel about it. And I think that the only, and I've got no regrets from that weekend, but I think if I wish I could have done anything, it was like had a night set aside that wasn't Joe Fest related or whatever, where we could just go and enjoy the town, enjoy the some of the bars. Like the first night where we went to that little sub shop and we're just hanging out on the sidewalk.
Yeah. That was great. And then Joe Racondo disappeared for a little while, and we
were going back. We go back to the hotel. Where are you going? Oh, I'm going exploring.
Yeah.
Joe?
Yeah, we didn't see him until the next day, but he went out drinking out, and I was like, man, I wish I had an opportunity to go and do that.
That guy, that's why we call it. That's why he's called Joe Racondo. He's out there Racondo.
Yeah. He's on the reconnaissance.
That man's great. He's a good guy. He's generally good.
I feel like it was a year ago though.
It doesn't, right?
No, but that brings me on to the topic of adult collecting and adult collectors. Let me tell you something. Because I never really gave up on collecting, right? I always was collecting something. Like some people have dark ages where they were like, "No, I'm a big kid now. I don't collect toys. I'm too good for that." I was never too good for it. I always was collecting, whether it was Star Wars, Marvel Toy Biz, and I guess later on would have been Beast Wars. I was getting some Beast Wars stuff, right? Mm-hmm. But I had kids young, so my collecting became thinner, and I was just like, if you have to buy nappies or you buy a toy, obviously you buy the toy. I'm just kidding. You buy the nappies. But I was still looking at stuff, and then when the kids were old enough to start collecting toys, which is probably the last generation of kids that really like had toys, they were getting into things like Ben 10, Transformers still.
And a perfect excuse to go to the store and get some toys.
Right. And so, I'd be like, hey, you guys want to go and check out the toys? But it always felt like back then, for me anyway, I don't know, it was like your neck of the woods, but for me, it always felt like being an adult collector was a quiet thing. Right. Yeah. You weren't advertising, whatever. If you were the only adult by themselves in a toy aisle, it felt weird. And if there were, a bunch of kids, you let the kids look at the toys and you sort of like back off and come back later.
If you were behind, if you were there by yourself, and I kind of do this now when I occasionally walk into the walk into like Walmart or something, I'll be like if there's somebody standing there, I'll just like look like I'm talking to myself, and I pick my phone out like I'm looking for it. And I'm like, oh, I wonder if he'd like this. This looks like a
yeah. There's still a bit of a stigma to it.
that was it.
But even in my 20s, the cashier would say, "Oh, is this for your son, or is this for a present, or is this whatever?" Right? And it'd be like, and sometimes you just go, "Yep." Right?
Yep.
If it wasn't, then even if it wasn't, it was. Yep, it is.
Yep.
Because it wasn't very very popular, right? It wasn't a popular thing to be an adult collector. And when I said this on the Toy Biz show, when I think I must have been 17, so not quite an adult yet, but obviously old enough that technically buying toys is going to look a bit weird, right? But I was 17 with my dad, and I saw Iceman, right, from the Toy Biz. I was like, oh, it's Iceman. Maybe it's younger. Maybe it was anywhere between 15 and 17, maybe. Anyway, I was a teenager anyway, too old to buy toys. Too old! And so I had to make a decision, right? Am I going to buy this toy in front of my dad, or am I going to let it go, right? But it was Iceman. I needed it. It.
Yep.
So I was like, Dad, I'm going to grab this. And he's like, you still collect toys? And I was like, oh, there it is. Oh, pain. But I was like, yeah, but I'm a collector. It's a collector's item. It's an action figure. It's not a toy, right? I really started to justify why. I was like, it's very hard to find. Now, sometime later in my adult life, I went back to visit Dad, and he took me to this vintage store. And it was a very different experience then, like having been, because I'm in my 40s now. Now it's like, well, he's fully aware of my collecting habits. We're in this vintage store, and he's, let's see what kind of action figures I got, or toys or whatever, right? And he actually helped me find some of the original He-Man comics, the mini comics. And he was just as excited as I was. And he actually he goes, hey, I found this. I got this for you. And it was a little metal car, Muppet car with Fozzie Bear in it. I was like, thanks.
What? Thanks, Dad. That's awesome.
Thanks, Dad. I felt like a kid again. Thanks, Dad. Yeah. But I think it's turned now. Like the tides have turned, and it's now the toy aisles are mostly, especially here in Australia, like the toy aisles are mostly adults. The worst ones are not the worst people, but the worst situations I've seen working retail or buying toys is the ones that come in early morning and just check what they got and strip it for everything, right? And they're either going to resell it or they're not leaving anything for the kids, right? And Hot Wheels as well. Like I've seen adults standing in the Hot Wheel aisles for hours and just sifting. And I don't know what the big deal with Hot Wheels is. Like some Hot Wheels look cool.
I used to work at Toys R Us back in like the mid 90s into the 2000s. I did like a part-time job, right? And for each case of Hot Wheels, you have like these chase cars that are in there.
Right.
Did a hard find one. They only pack them like one to a case.
Yeah.
Where I was, like, they would come in the morning, but they would come in at night because they knew that there you go, treasure hunts. And they know that at night they roll the pallets out because the shelves are stocked at night. So they'll come in at like a half an hour before close, and that's when they start bringing the pallets out. So there'll be the boy section, and there'll be a couple pallets on there. So they'll circle.
Right.
I have nothing against them, whatever. But they circle.
We're adult collectors too, so we get it.
Hey, so they circled the. It used to aggravate me when I was working there. It used to aggravate me. So they would circle the pallets like vultures looking for Hot Wheels boxes.
Yeah.
It got so bad. It got so bad that one of the back room workers, like the guys who bring up the bikes to the cars and build bikes and stuff, caught a couple of them in the back going through cases. No way. Yeah, they just walked back like they owned the place. So what a couple of us started doing was we'd come in on like a Saturday shift, So we just get a truck on Friday night and come in the Saturday shift. We would walk back, we look, we're supposed to go out there, maintain the shelves and stuff during the day, help people out when they needed help, right? Or go on the register or whatnot. So I would walk to the car aisle to see like, oh, look at some of the pegs are kind of thin. Let's go back and grab a sealed box, right? Just like 3 or 4 of them, right? And just start stacking them out and be like, oh, look at this one's a rare one. Let me just put this one aside. It's just aggravating me. Like, here's I got a funny story.
Down the aisle.
Yeah. So it was a funny story, right? So it was the night of the premiere for Phantom Menace.
Oh,
right?
yeah.
And they were doing like the midnight showing and stuff like that.
Yeah.
So all the toys couldn't be put out before that time. So we would close at like, I think it was 9 o'clock. I think we closed, right? So we were going to open up at midnight to sell the toys because we were allowed to sell them on that day. So we'd be setting up this whole front area for Star Wars and had these props hanging from the ceiling and stuff, and just taking boxes and dumping them into these cages of figures and stuff like that. And then you look at the door, because it was right in front of the door. You could see them all looking in, right? and we're like this. So a couple of us walked up to the thing. We're like going through it all, and we're like, "Ooh, look at this! Oh, this!" And we grabbing like a whole bunch of them. because most of the employees that were there were also toy collectors. So like there was one guy that I used to work with, and he was a big Star Wars collector. Like I went over his house, and he had like boxed stuff in his closet. Like all of a sudden, I was like, "What are you gonna do with all this stuff? You're gonna sell it?" And he's like, "No, I'm gonna hold on to it." So like me and him would be just joking around and doing this, and he's like, "Legit, oh look at there's them all. I'm gonna buy every one of them that's in this bin." and they like the management wasn't even stop us. They're like, "Yeah, do whatever you want." So
hey, Rolando.
It was hilarious. Watch them freak out on the window. They're like, "They're going through all the stuff."
Well, I got to tell you, I was one of those. How are you, Rando? Thanks for dropping in, buddy. I was one of those Star Wars collectors when the Phantom Menace came out. It was huge. It was huge, and I reckon that was probably one of the last times that I ever saw like full shelvings of action figures. Like this wasn't just one block. This was they had a whole dedicated racking line.
It was aisle. Like 80s GI Joe aisle of Star Wars is basically
exactly that. Probably the last time we've ever seen that sort of hysteria too. Right? We haven't seen anything since. Not like that.
I think the only thing that's similar to that would be like the Lego aisle if you go into a store.
Oh yeah, but I mean like hysteria though for like waiting for midnight.
Yeah,
and
swarm in there like
it was nothing. The shelves were stripped, right? And I think the early bird figure was the droid on his glider thingy.
Yeah, I think so. Yeah, the battle droid with that glider.
yeah.
But I mean, they come out with like crazy stuff like Han or Luke on Tauntaun, like a huge 12-inch figure and stuff. And those so like crazy. You couldn't keep them in stock. Like all these guys are coming by like 4 of them.
They had Princess Leia 2-packs. There was a Princess Leia that came with R2, a Princess Leia that came with Wicket, the Ewok.
Oh, and then there was Naughty Leia.
Who did she come with?
I don't know who she came with, but I have one. Everyone over there.
So there were three 2-packs, and I'm almost, maybe Slave Leia was the third one. I can't remember, but they had a sign because adult collectors were coming and just stripping the shelves. They had a sign on it saying only 1 per customer.
Yeah.
But people got a way of getting around that. But recently, in the last couple of years, we had the Masters of the Universe stuff coming out, right? Difficult to find. The only one place had them that I could see, which was Big W here, which is kind of like your Walmart, but not quite as extreme. They don't sell guns there. But
mine doesn't either.
Oh, don't? Okay. But they were the only ones that were having them. They were only ever getting like 1 box at a time.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So what I found was I knew they were coming out on this day. I went there. I didn't go there first thing in the morning because I'm not psycho. No, just kidding. I didn't go there first thing in the morning because I like to sleep in. But when I got in there, I was like half expected them to not be there, and they weren't. It's like, okay, that's fine. I didn't get here early. I don't have them. No biggie, right? Yeah. But then I went to a shop which is like a kind of like a vintage toy store, but they have some newer stuff there too.
Yeah.
And they had all of them there on the same day. And I was like, they obviously went to Big W early in the morning, picked up all this stuff, and now they've got it on the shelf here for 3 times as much.
Yeah,
Crazy.
yeah, that's how it works. The last time I went toy hunting, which was the last time, this was like years ago. Actually, not years ago. It was when Beachhead came out for Classified. I really wanted to get him, and he was that exclusive Target figure. So I had a Target that was close to us. There's one in the next state over, which is kind of close to me, right? So that day, I went out and I thought it was coming on a certain day, so I went go looking for it, and I even asked, which I really felt like odd asking. I don't know why I'm asking for a product. I don't know why I felt odd asking for it.
Yeah.
And one store I saw the box, and he's like, "Oh, we can't sell them till tomorrow because we're not allowed to sell them till tomorrow." So I go, "If I come back here in the morning, they'll be here." So yeah, they should be on the shelf. So I went to that Target the next day, and they were already. I went there at open, and they were already gone. I'm like, I'm the only one here. You just open the door and they're gone.
So because I worked retail like you did. I worked retail at Big W, and they had the toy sale, right?
Yeah.
Now, I was working in the department as a retail manager for that department that also had toys under that umbrella of, there was toys, there was video games, there was electronics, right? I was responsible for that side. So it is very tempting to, during the toy sales, look at, this, I collect this, I should put this aside for myself, and I'll come and buy it later. There's no law against it.
Yeah.
And in actual fact, the year that I think Devastator came out for Transformers, they brought what was that?
The whole collection, right? Yeah, because they all came together, right?
Yeah. When that one came out, the management said, like upper management said, that we, as the people that work there, could come in before open and do our shopping for the toy sale before they opened, because it was going to be mass hysteria, right? Which I thought was a pretty cool idea. But I think for me, the only thing that I actually did do was when the new Lego minifigures came out. All right, and if I was going to put a box out, I was like, "Oh, it comes with a cowboy. I need that." So I just sort of like feel the cowboy before I put the box out. I was like, "Okay, I got one," and then put the box out. But other than that, though, as tempting as it was, I didn't really go down that road. But it's tempting to do.
Yeah, I mean, I could understand, because some people, I mean, they're they work there, and just like when we were Toys R Us, a lot of toy collectors, guys that were collecting stuff, specifically got a job there so that they can get access to this stuff beforehand, which I can understand. But it's just like, but seeing it from the customer angle, like, you just went there. I went to one specifically further away from me to get this, and I'm like, I should have figured that. But I mean, eventually I got him anyway. I came across him anyway, so it was all good. But
Beachhead was the one that got me out of collecting classifieds, because I was all in. And I'm like, I don't really like the look of some of these early figures. I thought Duke was okay. I didn't have an issue with Duke. I know that they were looking a little bit futuristic. I was like, that's fine.
It's fine with me. Yeah.
I thought Roadblock looked okay. I thought Scarlet was. I was like, okay, all right. But I was going to get him anyway, right? I was going to get all of them. And then they said Beachhead was an exclusive.
Yeah, I'm
not going to bother. I'm not going to bother.
Yeah.
If I can't get one of my favorite characters, I'm not going to bother getting, Scarlet or Roadblock, who aren't my favorite characters. I'm not going to bother.
They did correct the ship, the course of the ship by doing like the alt paints of the characters as exclusive, which is good. Like the Tiger Force stuff, which is understandable to me, because not everybody's going to buy those, and then the main look is for the main line, which is cool. I mean, at first they, I'm not going to defend what they did, obviously, but they had to make deals with Target and Walmart to make sure. So they got to do that. It's not like the 80s where they had to deal with like Toys R Us. They would just ship stuff to Toys R Us's warehouse, and they just hold on to it like a consignment and be like, "All right, we're taking these many boxes and we're going to send them in." That's how it was back then. That's why they full aisleways full of GI Joes. You know what I mean? You walk in there and they can never find the Snake Eyes, but damn right they had a whole bunch of other figures.
Well, first of all, I want to say thanks for pre-ordering the Sarge Mad Marauder Sarge for me.
Definitely.
I appreciate that. I'm
You're
looking
more
forward
than
to that.
welcome.
Video.
I want
I
that
like the
ditty
look of
bag.
them.
I want
Yeah,
that little itty
how
bitty
good is
bag.
that?
It's
What a
awesome.
great accessory. And people were saying, "Oh man, what do you think of him coming with boxing gloves?" That's not Sarge. Sarge isn't a boxer. Well, actually, let me tell you.
He's a drill
There was
instructor.
an episode of G.I. Joe where Sarge uses boxing gloves, and that was in the episode Ninja Holiday.
Mhm.
So you can recreate that scene.
I mean, he's a drill instructor, so they're going to be boxing. I mean, doing all kinds of stuff. So why not?
Why not? Even
not?
Roddy Piper put on a set of gloves.
Them ready to. I'm hoping they do a Roddy Piper figure. That'd be cool.
Yeah, I wonder.
I know they probably won't, but
I mean, he's been there before. I mean, what are the logistics for it?
they did. Didn't they do an exclusive where he was in the Destro's group, right?
Yeah, he's in the Iron Grenadiers as their instructor.
Yeah, so maybe it'll happen. Come on, Hasbro.
Yeah,
Do it right.
make it happen.
Make it
Make
happen.
it happen.
Make it happen. Make it happen.
I was watching They Live the other day and thinking Roddy Piper did a great job in that movie. Originally, apparently written for our boy. Oh, nice. That's so cool.
There's my Roddy Piper. Oh, such a great guy.
Yeah. Great movie. I hadn't seen it in so long, I forgot the ending. But if you haven't seen it, go check it out. But great movie. There's a PKE from Ghostbusters in it. I was like,
that's right. Yeah, it's such a clever movie, man. Right? John Carpenter, such a great film creator.
So Kurt Russell was apparently like the first idea to be,
yeah.
But he was like, we should probably. He's done so many already. Let's give it to someone else. And Roddy Piper nailed it because Roddy Piper was homeless at one point too. So, and he plays a homeless man walking the streets looking for work.
Mm.
And then it gets a little bit more sci-fi from there. But I guess he could relate. He could relate to that.
It's a great movie. It's a great movie. Fun movie to watch.
But I hadn't seen it. I don't know why I hadn't seen it for so long. And I think it's one of those occasions where, so I love Back to the Future, right?
Mm-hmm.
So if I watch Back to the Future 2 instead of watching it from 1, 2, and 3, or if I watch 3, right? I already have those movies in my brain.
Yeah.
Where I feel like I already know this movie so well, I can sit here and watch 3 and be happy, right? Same with Star Wars. I can watch Empire or Jedi, even though I love A New Hope, original Star Wars. I can watch any of the movies in any order. It doesn't matter because I know them so much in my head. Yep. And I thought the same thing about They Live, right? I was like, I've seen it before, probably hadn't seen it since, I don't know, late teens, early 20s. Obviously, I'd seen it before then as a kid, but probably hadn't seen it since then. But it's in my head. I know the movie. If I see an image from it, brings me back to that moment. I was like, this is great. But then it came up as a suggestion to watch. I was like, I'm going to watch it. I haven't seen it in so long. I'm going to allow myself an opportunity to sit down and watch this movie. And as I'm watching it, I was like, oh man, I forgot about that.
Yeah. It's a lot of that.
Yeah. And I was like, oh man, what? I cannot for the life of me remember how this ends. And so I'm like enthralled with this movie. And then when the end came on, I was like, oh, I'd forgotten all about that.
Yeah. There's another one that, there's another one that I really enjoy that I hadn't seen in a long time, and I just recently watched it. I think it was on YouTube here in the States, and that was a Tom Selleck movie called Runaway. Have you seen this with Gene Simmons? So it's kind of set in like in a not too distant future from that time, and there's a lot of like little robots that do a lot of the normal work for us. So they're on construction sites, housemaids and all that stuff. They're just robots. And Tom Selleck plays a cop who deals with robots that go on the fritz. So if it's something goes wrong and it's damaging thing, they call him in. He flies in and takes care of it. And Gene Simmons plays this like crazy ass. That was weird. Crazy. Mom was like crazy, but it's like this mad scientist dude, right? He's just stealing tech to sell, and he's got this crazy gun with like homing bullets and stuff. It's such a great film. It's a great film. When you get a chance to watch it. It's pretty good. Tom Selleck, great actor. Great actor. And I don't know if a lot of people notice, but the series Magnum PI, you've seen that, right?
Yeah.
You want to talk about breaking breaking the fourth wall? He does it in every episode. Every episode.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, obviously
really?
it starts off with him narrating like a story,
Yeah.
like going into it. And then throughout the show, he'll just do a glance at the camera. And just give it like a smirk. Like something odd would happen and just look at the camera like he's looking at us. And I'm like, how come nobody's ever picked up on this? I just noticed this and I'm like, how old am I? And I'm like, just notice it's now.
When we go to PowerCon, every so often we'll just look over into a corner and smirk. And when people go, "What are you doing?" I'm like, "It's for the camera, it's for the viewers at home."
It's breaking the third wall.
I'll have to go back. I haven't seen Magnum PI. Same with why am I forgetting it now? The other one with the duo, cop duo.
Oh, Simon and Simon?
No.
Rick and AJ?
No. Oh yeah.
One guy drives a truck, the other one drives a Camaro. Yeah.
So I haven't seen those for so long, but I want to put time aside to go back and revisit them, and it's just a matter of having that time, but it's the same with classic movies like Dances with Wolves and stuff too. It's like I want to go back and revisit these, but it's the time. But I'm glad I made time for They Live, because it really showed me the value of going back and revisiting something that you thought you knew through and through. And there were beats in that movie where I was like, oh man, I really forgot about that. And coming in with a different perspective, right? Having lived a little bit longer, They Live. Having being older and going back and watching it, you do see it in a different light. You do. It's like, and if people in the chat haven't seen it, I won't give away the ending, but there is an abrupt scene that I was not expecting. I was like, fuck, no way. I did not remember that.
I haven't seen that in a while, so I'm gonna have to go watch it again.
Yeah. Oh, dude, please.
I'm trying to think of the ending right now, and I can't remember it. I can see like leading up to it.
We'll do a whole episode on They Live. All right, I could talk about this movie forever. But it's on here. It's on Binge. I'm not sure where. It's probably anywhere for you guys to watch it. Probably everywhere.
I'll look it up. I'll look it up a little later. Surprisingly enough, I don't think I even have that on my disc. Which, circling back to our actually topic. So when I got to like young adult, and I wasn't really buying Joes anymore. I'd gotten out of GI Joe, and I think my collecting went towards film, like TV, comic books, and movies.
Yes. Yep.
Right. So as I'm older now, I have an extensive from the 60s to 80s like TV show, mostly 80s though, but there's some 60s in there and 70s TV show collection that I actually enjoy. And I'll sit there and I'll like, all right, you know what? I'm gonna watch some old school stuff tonight instead of like watching TV and new stuff. I'll put in like Magnum, like that was my newest pickup. So I've been watching Magnum. And I'll watch it to a point, and then I'll stop for a while, and I'll go back and revisit it. But as for like toy wise, I don't think like I'd pick up like little things here and there. I wouldn't. It's like my style now. Like I collect the 80 era GI Joe stuff. So the 80s into 90s stuff, GI Joe stuff. And I'm going like this because they're all right there.
Yeah, I have
a couple of stuff right here. But everything else that I get are just like one-offs. I think my GI Joe collection is the most of one thing that I have, but right. I have like a handful of Godzillas right up here, and I have like a couple of Lego sets. But I buy like the model kits, right?
Yeah.
So I have like a Porsche 911 over there. My brother for Christmas got me Optimus Prime, which
nice.
I don't want to crap on it because it's cool. It's cool, but it's very fragile. Very fragile, even transformed into the rig setup, like it was truck setup. It's very fragile. But other than that, it's like I just buy like one-off things. That something like I got Bronx from Gargoyles because I love that character.
Right.
right?
Yeah.
But I'm not gonna buy the
Yeah.
rest of them because I don't want them, right?
Yeah.
And it's just one-off stuff like that. It's crazy. So I'm not. I don't look at myself as a collector because I'm not going. I don't need every Joe. I just want to get the ones that I think are cool, right? It was like that when I was a kid too.
There definitely used to be a mentality of like Pokemon where you got to catch them all, you got to have them all, right?
Gotta get them all.
And that was even on the box. It's like pick them all up, buy the whole set, all in stores now, get them while they last, all of those sort of things. Trigger warning to make sure you buy every single one. Special offers 2 for 1, so that you can get a full set. And it does really put that mentality into your mind. But I think I'm the same as you now, where I'm like I pick and choose, and because I do the wrestling videos with the GI Joes, now I was like, I mean, I don't need a Hydro Viper, because I couldn't use a Hydro Viper in that show, and it would just be too weird. So now I look at so who would double as a pretty cool looking wrestler, or who could potentially be someone in the background, like a mechanic or some other use, not their intended uses. So I've got Mr. T, right? I thought I've got to have Mr. T in the show. So, but he's almost like an instructor as opposed to anything from like the A-team side of things. Like it's not guns blazing or anything. It's just like an instructor for them. But I see. Like for instance, I got this guy now, Stalker.
Yep.
But I feel like I couldn't really use him. Like I don't need a military guy right now. Like I love Stalker as a GI Joe, so I'll probably just keep him on the card because I still like GI Joe. But I don't need one for the show I'm doing, so he'll probably just stay on the card. But I think I probably have more Street Fighter and Mortal Kombat GI Joes now because they're better suited for what I'm doing. And I wasn't even collecting them before.
Well, yeah, but you have a purpose for the collection, right? You're doing this stuff. Me, I'm just playing with the ones that like I was when I was a kid. I remember this one time I was playing, and I got this janky. I traded for a janky. Remember trading for Joe's?
Yeah.
So I got this janky Snake Eyes version too. His thumbs are broken. His crotch was broken, but it was Snake Eyes, so I had to get him, right? I needed them, so I traded a couple of Joes for him. Probably got ripped off, but whatever, right? So I replaced his waist with like a bat waist because it was black. And I used to play like these like scenarios where like the bad guys had the evil princess and be like Zorana because the fish, and Snake Eyes would have to save her. So I had this like shelf set up, and that was his castle. And I used to play this the funniest freaking thing. So one Christmas, my grandmother sent over some tapes from Germany, and mistakenly put my name on it. It was for my mom.
Right?
Okay. So I opened up this case of tapes. It's like this little like cassette case, like rack. It was like a clear cover, and you put it over the top, and you pull it up, and all these cassettes inside. Yep. And they're all like 60s like music. And I'm like, I wonder why did my mom send me these whatever? And my mom's like, I think those are for me, but my name is on it. She can take it away from me because they were like, like puppy dog eyes. I'm like, so I used to play these songs. I loved them, like Rolling Stones and all this stuff. And there was this one song, called "Black Is Black." Right? I'll send you a link for it after the show.
Yeah.
And I used to play that song while I was playing with Snake Eyes because the song's like "Black Is Black." So like that, it was crazy. Just me blaring it on my little radio and stuff. And,
that's cool.
It's nuts. It was nuts. Crazy.
I used to. We'll say hi to Jeff. How are you, buddy? Hey, fellas. Happy post Joe Fest and post DFW Joe Show. Hope you're both well. We're doing well. We're doing well now. We've had about a sickness, but we're back. We're back.
We're back.
He's right there. I used to have the Transformers the movie book on tape.
Oh.
And so I used to have that playing in the background while playing Transformers. and it was, oh man, I loved it. Hey, Michael's here. Hi, Gazz and Zaz. How are you, buddy? Good to see you, mate. Thanks for tuning in.
Talking about books on tape, I went down to the public library like a lot when I was a kid, and I used to rent out the vinyl of Empire Strikes Back and Return of the Jedi, and I would play them.
Yeah. Yeah. Oh, how good. I was collecting, probably, I don't do it as much now, but in my early 20s, I was pretty much only buying movie soundtracks. And
Platoon was a great soundtrack. You remember that one?
Yeah. But I also was getting like the instrumental ones, you know, like some of them like movie soundtracks. You know, you can either get instrumentals or you can get like the pop music that associated with the song. Either one was fine in my books. Star Wars was obviously a must-have, but it was almost impossible to find a Star Wars vinyl. For, you know, they were going for like hundreds, if not thousands. You probably get one pretty easy nowadays. I haven't looked.
I kind of want to find like Empire Strikes Back and Blues and Return of the Jedi on vinyl. Like, you know, it was the audio of the movie, so you were you know. I kind of want to find that now.
Speaking of Phantom Menace, I had that soundtrack on CD before the movie came out. Yeah. And I was playing that on loop.
Duel of the Fates.
From start to finish, because I was trying to figure out what was going to happen in the movie with the songs, right? Some of the things in the description of the title itself would give stuff away, but it's just like sort of sitting there going, I wonder what's going to happen in the movie now. Duel of the Fates, still a great song. I love that song. Phil, how are you, Phil?
Some of my favorite soundtracks from when I was a kid that I can remember that stand out is Platoon. It was like one summer I was just like totally like I was wearing fatigues. I went like the frog way, like Corey, what's his name? Corey Haim, Galfelder.
Corey Feldman and Corey Haim were the two Corys, right?
Yeah, from the Lost Boys when they were all wearing they were like that.
That's a great soundtrack.
I was gonna bring that one up, but the army surplus stuff I was wearing like crazy, listening to like 60s rock. That was like some weird ass like I was watching Tour of Duty on TV. I was like I don't know why, but anyways, it was that. I was gonna bring up the Lost Boys. That was a great soundtrack. Roger Daltrey's version of Don't Let the Sun Go Down on Me is El John's is perfect, but his is perfectly
great song.
Great. Yeah. But and then another one that I had was Dragnet, the soundtrack, the Tom Hanks, Dan Aykroyd movie. Have you listened to that? Oh my god!
No,
the main song in that is this like rap. It's like a rap, right?
Okay.
And both Dan Aykroyd and Tom Hanks both rap in the song. It's hilarious.
That's cool.
And it's good.
Okay.
I'll send you a link to that too. It's hilarious. Oh my god! Yeah,
Jeff saying nothing makes you feel more successful when washing dishes than when playing the Superman theme.
Oh, dude, I
experience.
I play that in my car. I play that in my car while I'm driving, and then I put my hand out like this, and I'm like, flying.
You need to paint the roof red, like a cape.
I just put a flag on the back. Just get a
so
red.
I usually, if I'm not watching one of our friends' videos while doing dishes, right? I can't do dishes without having a distraction, right? I hate it. It's the worst job. I hate it, but I'll do it. But if I'm going to do it, I need to watch something or listen to something. And it used to be when I was a teen and I had to do the dishes, the rule was, or it wasn't a rule actually, Mum said that if I did the dishes, I could listen to whatever music I wanted. And I picked Guns N' Roses, and I played Guns N' Roses while doing the dishes. And it made me enjoy it and made me do them like properly too, you know, like not just like whizzing through it. Because I got to listen to my music on the big sound system, and now it's like, well, I've got so many videos I can watch. Like I could throw Phil's here. I love doing the dishes, but yeah, YouTube is a must. Yeah, you love doing dishes, man. You're crazy. You're crazy, man. You're crazy.
I don't mind doing them. They're fun.
Having something on the background like TJC with his video games, right? Mm-hmm. That is great background stuff. That's great background stuff.
My go-to for washing dishes, if I'm not listening to music, it's I'll put on classic Doctor Who.
Oh, perfect. I've actually That is actually a really good one, but that's too distracting though, because I'll be like, I'd
I've seen
stop
him
and
so many. I've seen him so many times. It's just like, I'm listening to them.
So I'm getting back into soundtracks, and so one of the soundtracks that I do play now, and this is just like an easy win anyway. Like it's like obviously, but now I listen to the Transformers the movie soundtrack,
Oh
and
yeah.
that is a banger of a soundtrack, dude. Oh, I love it. I asked recently in our group chat, it was like, is this a good soundtrack or is it just nostalgia making me think that it's a good soundtrack? Because I love every single song, whether it was instrumental or if it was sung.
I guess the jury on that, but you don't have a car, so you can't do this. The jury on that would be like, you just put it on, play it in your car as you're driving.
Yeah,
you're blaring that, and if people are like, then it's good. I mean, I pulled up to the light where I've gone from like a Metallica song to like Dean Martin.
Oh yeah.
That's the people just go.
I love a good mix though. I love a good mix. Josiah, we were at Joe Fest last year. We weren't there this year, unfortunately. We had a bit of FIFO happening. No, FIMO. Was it fear of missing out? FOMO. I got there in the end.
Yeah.
I got there. But the now when I'm listening to the soundtrack, I can remember the scenes from the movie, and so I'll sometimes quote the movie as the song's going. And the guitar solos, like I can't do a good guitar sound, but when it's like,
you have to be careful. You know, on my playlist that I shared with you. Remember, I told you it was public. I didn't realize it was public. There's a lot of James Bond stuff on there. It's like a lot of James Bond theme songs, which are just that's a topic in itself. And I think Wes from Fandom said they were gonna do a game with Bond songs. But anyway. So I have the Bullet. You know, are you familiar with the movie Bullet? It's Steve McQueen.
If I've seen it, I haven't seen it in a while. How are you, Andrew? Andrew's just come back from Joe Fest. What's your favorite pickup? What's the favorite thing that you got, buddy?
Yeah, let us know. So there's a chase scene in the movie, and the soundtrack, it goes from like low and then it builds up as so when that plays in my car, I'm like, oh, do I want to step on the gas pedal? Is there a I'm like looking around. Or even like Godzilla will come up and I won't turn it off. I'm like, I was riding with my friend. I was riding with my friend somewhere, and that came on, like Godzilla's theme song came on. Yeah. And she just like looked at me like, are you serious right now? I'm like, damn right.
So there was times when I was working retail where like certain soundtrack songs would come on and nobody knew that they were like soundtrack songs. So some would come on from Ghostbusters 2. I'm like, man, this is, I think it was Bobby Brown.
Yeah, Bobby Brown's theme song, right?
Man. I said, I can't believe they're playing Ghostbusters 2. And they're like, how do you know what movies this is?
Ghostbusters 2. Everybody's seen that.
Ghostbusters 2.
I saw that in the theater.
What was the? Yeah, I did too. Great movie.
Love that movie.
I know it gets a rough go, but I really legitimately like Ghostbusters too. What was
a river of slime.
Right? I mean, how creepy is that? In the bathtub? What
was
the James Bond theme that Paul McCartney did?
Live and Let Die.
Live and Let Die. Now, Guns N' Roses did a pretty good cover of it, but I didn't know. I mean, it's obvious because it's in the title, right?
Yeah.
But I didn't know that was a James Bond theme originally.
It has. Every James Bond theme has that like inside it somewhere. Which
right.
A lot of great stuff. There's like two songs that I think are two of the best. I think, and that would be Duran Duran's the View to a Kill. And then Aha's The Living Daylights, which is a great tune as well.
I didn't know. Okay. I'll go back and listen to that one.
Well, that was followed up by Gladys Knight with License to Kill, which is another great tune. They're all just great. They're all great. I can't.
Right, yeah.
I can't say bad things about James Bond songs.
I didn't know Aha did one. I'm going to go back and check that out. We're not going to probably only name you one Aha song anyway, and we all know which one that is.
It was Timothy Dalton's first Bond movie was called The Living Daylights, and that's
how many did he do? One?
He did two. That and View to a Kill. Yeah, View to a Kill.
Yeah. I really need to go. I've only ever seen up to Pierce Brosnan, and I've seen nothing after that.
Yeah, Roger
How are you,
Moore was Roger
Don't
Moore.
forget that like button.
Yeah,
Sorry?
Roger Moore was the one that I grew up with because that was like the first Bond movie I've ever seen. The
Yeah.
first one that I ever seen, I saw with my Opa, my grandfather, and it was For Eyes Only. This is
Right.
Roger Moore's probably I think fourth or fifth installment.
Mm.
By the time he got to View to a Kill, he should have hung up the PPK. He should have hung it up. but
Yeah.
but no, it's good. It's good.
Josiah's dropped in a comment saying he loved everything that he got. One table was selling modern 1/18th for a really good price. It was like, oh no, I'm about to drop $200 right now. Well, hopefully it was $200 well spent, buddy.
Yeah. Man, Joe Fest.
I didn't buy that much at Joe Fest last year, and it's not like there wasn't some great stuff. There was a lot of great stuff, but I think most of my money was spent on Cobra clutches.
Wait.
One every day.
I got one too. Look, I got it too. Look, bang! But I didn't actually get it.
Nice. Well, still lucky. But I think other than that, it was just like I think the first day was quite overwhelming. It's like, oh man, there's so much stuff. Where to look?
It's crazy to walk.
So
like I said, do we walk on that floor? You're just you're blown away. You're like, what the hell? And you look at all around, what stuff.
Andrew saying that the exclusive Machina Gullwing from Rum and Toys. Am I saying that right? Machina?
Yeah, I think it's Machina.
Machina. Well, that sounds way cooler than what I was saying. Machina. That sounds way cooler. Okay. Exclusive Machina Gullwing from Rum and Toys and Delta 17's Red Okami exclusive. Yeah, some good stuff.
They look good. They look good, right?
It is overwhelming.
I mean, just the standard one looks absolutely phenomenal, right? I just got these.
Yeah, that's cool. Steven came up with some epic designs.
Crazy designs, man. Like I said, that's a cool toy line. Very cool.
Oh, we actually had we got Delta 17 on the show not long ago to talk about some of this stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Really need to pick Steven's brains a bit more on it, I reckon. We'll come back. I reckon we'll circle back around to Delta 17 eventually.
Oh, yeah, definitely.
Because it's good stuff.
I think he's working on the new line, isn't he? I think it's Wave 2, I believe. He's designing it right now.
Yeah. I really hope that he finds some success in Delta 17. It's a passion project, and Steven's probably had this rattling around in his brain for a while. But being able to drop an action figure line, straight off the bat is pretty cool.
Well, I guess the good news was that they had the first issue of the comic as well there at Joe Fest. Awesome.
Yeah, I'd like to read it.
Which you can actually go on their site and download for free to read.
Actually, I don't think you can download it. I think you have to read it on the website.
Oh, yeah, we're on the website for free, but still for free. You can read it.
For free?
For
free. How often do you get something for free?
That's right. Free.
Free. David. Sorry, Andrew. Andrew Davis. Sorry, buddy. But my favorite thing I purchased was the one thing I didn't walk away with, the Rumman's Toys 1/12 scale Desert 10 MBT Hunter Tank exclusive pre-order. So you pre-ordered, though? Was that right? Your exclusive pre-order?
I wonder what that is.
Oh, Nate must have quit his job. Thanks for quitting your job and hanging out with us, mate. Good to see you, bud.
Was that Jim Largo that we just saw?
Where? Did I miss it?
I thought I saw him. I'm not sure. Well, if in case I'm just saying, if it is, hey, buddy. Hey, Nate.
Did Hans Chow do karaoke this year?
Oh man, Hans, I feel so bad that I wasn't able to go.
How are ya, Kiwi? Hit that like button. Yo, Joe.
Yo, Joe.
I'll be hanging out with Kiwi soon. I think this weekend. This Sunday. GF Butler says, I was at the DFW show and it was fantastic. It was a fantastic show in every way. Yeah, I mean, they had a lot of great guests there. They had like a lot of people from G.I. Joe, like the original G.I. Joe heads of creative were there. So that would have been pretty cool. Am I frozen, Gazz, or are you? Or are you just looking in the corner?
Oh, I was looking down. I was looking down here. I was just double checking to see if I saw Jim. I thought I saw him, but he's not in the chat. So.
I didn't see Jim, but if I did, I would have said, hey. And if he is here and he's gone, hey.
But no,
Nice.
no. I mean, Joe Fest is unique, and VFW looks like it's like a fun show as well. So it's good. It's good to see that there's more GI Joe stuff going on. And maybe it'll give Hasbro a little niche to be like, hey, either you attend these shows or bring back JoeCon.
Oh man, I would have loved to have gone to JoeCon.
Me too.
Andrew Davis was blocking the door, making sure only the cool kids got in.
Look, did Hans
That's why we went there this year, guys. We weren't let in.
we didn't, yeah, they didn't let us in. I bought my ticket and they sent it back and said, no, sorry, you can't come. What?
Sorry. You're too cool. You're too cool to get in. Last year was a blast. Correct me if I'm wrong, guys. That was at Joe Fest this year, but I'm almost certain they extended the floor, so there was like more room this year.
Did they extend the times? Because it was what? I think first night was like 6 to 9, right? Was it 6 to 8? I don't remember. It was a short period that Friday night, and then Saturday was what, like 9 to 5 or something like that, which I thought was weird because like we have shows here, like there's one called MegaFest, it's like all day Saturday. It starts at like 9 and it goes till like I think like 9 or 10 because they do all kinds of like events and stuff like that. So I think it's kind of I thought it weird that it was like shutting down and stuff like that. I don't know if that maybe it's a Georgia thing, but I thought it was crazy.
They've probably got certain hours that they're licensed to have people in there, but it honestly felt like every day wasn't long enough.
Yeah, that's what I mean. That's what I mean. Was that's why the hours got me confused. It's like there's no way I'm gonna be able to get through all this stuff in this small amount of time.
Well, by day 3, I thought, because it was a quick whirlwind on the Friday, right? Mm-hmm. On the Saturday, I thought I'd seen everything, and I was going to go back and just re-look. But on day 3, I'm walking down little side aisles I didn't even know existed. I was like, was this always here? MegaFest. When's MegaFest? What's MegaFest? And how do we get to MegaFest? Is that in your neck of the woods?
Yeah, well, I think it's throughout the states because I know it goes to other places, but it might just be a New England show. Maybe I'm wrong, but it's just a big fan festival type of thing, like kind of like Joe Fest, but it's not like centered on one thing. There's like a bunch of stuff there, and they'll bring in artists and big stuff. Like I met Lee Majors there. That's $6 Million
cool.
Man, and MacGyver with Richard Dean Anderson was there one year. They bring in like an old wrestling star, like wrestling. I would say old wrestling. Wrestling. Guys
wrestling
legends.
Legends of wrestling.
Thank you for correcting me. For legends and stuff like that. And it's such a big fan fest of stuff, and you have cosplayers and stuff like that. It's huge. It's a huge show. I mean, we have like 2 huge shows. That's one of them, and the other one is, well, it's unfortunately not centered around Megaforce Spike. I wish it was. I wish it was, but it's not. I'm hoping one year they're going to have Barry there. It'd be great. But
so, Gaz, if anyone can put together a Megaforce show, it should be but it should be run by you as the head of it. Headlined by the actor himself, which the name's
Barry Boswick.
Barry, that's it. Yeah.
Barry Boswick.
MegaFest. Where is MegaFest?
It's in New England.
New England.
I believe it's a New England show. Let me just.
So we're gonna try and get. My idea is because we're gonna do the best we possibly can to get to PowerCon next year, right?
Mm-hmm.
In fact, I'm gonna lock it in, but we need to get Nate and we need to get Phil. We need to make it a full international show and get us all over there. Adam, obviously.
Tej. Space Commander.
Yeah.
Hans.
Perfect. Harry can give out Sarge gives out Cobra clutches.
We gotta get Sarge.
So Andrew, you make an interesting comment, and we have been sort of circling around the topic of adult collecting, but us geeks and nerds are the cool kids now, and always have been. There was a bit of a stigma around it, though. My original comment was that it was a very silent hobby.
We didn't talk about it.
No, we didn't. It wasn't until my friend. I didn't know this when I was a teenager, but all of my friends in high school had some kind of nerd hobby, right? Whether it was Warhammer, collecting DC comics. I was a Marvel guy. or collecting something that would be like what are they called, dinky cars? Anyway, and none of my friends talked about it amongst ourselves, right? Because we were sort of like quietly embarrassed about it, or at least it wasn't really, we're trying to get girlfriends and stuff. So we're not talking about this stuff. But there was one time where we were all catching. There was a group of boys, a group of girls, and we're all going to a place called Adventure World. And there was I don't know if I've told you the story before, Gaz. Stop me if you've heard this one. But we're all going to this water park called Adventure World, and there was a bus that we had to actually catch 2 buses to get there. And while we were waiting for the connecting bus, I noticed that there was a supermarket there that had a toy store that I'd never been to.
Ooh.
And so I'm like, we've got like an hour until the next bus is here.
So you
I really want to have a look, right? But it's not cool. There are girls there, and I'm like I'm sweating, right? I was like, I really want to go look. So I make a decision. I was like, guys, I'm gonna go in there and have a look at some toys. And they're like, is it like your little brother's birthday? I was saying, like, no. I'm going in there for me. And I told them, I pretty much told them, I said, like, I collect action figures, I collect comic books, I have all of this stuff. That's who I am, and I'm gonna go be me, and I'm gonna go in there and I ended up picking up I think it was from the Iron Man line. I picked up Hawkeye. And it was so glad I went in there. It was so cool. I clutched onto this Hawkeye for the entire bus ride. But then my friends were like, "Oh, really?" I was like, "Yeah." They go, "Well, I do Warhammer." I was like, "Oh, that's cool. I collect DC comics. I'm a Marvel guy." And so I got to talk to someone who collects DC. Ask them about sort of their characters, because I only knew Batman and Superman, right? I didn't know everything about Green Lantern or the Flash or Hawkman or any of that stuff. And then we're all sitting in the back of the bus, and the girls didn't think we were cool, but I don't care. It was like even though these were friends of mine since like year 8, right? We're probably year 10 at this point, and it was like finding new friends again.
Yeah,
right? It's like learning about these people, and it was like we started trading comics or borrowing them. It's like, here, read these issues, and what have you got for me to read? All right. We didn't have mobile phones or anything, but I might get a phone call in the evening and say, "Oh, hey man, I was down at the shops today and I saw this Hulk. Have you got that Hulk? You should go down there and check it out." So all of a sudden, the conversations changed, and now we're sort of like more comfortable in our own skin.
Yeah.
We try and draw in art class now, right? This is one of the big ones. Big ones. What do I know? But now, instead of doing things that we think we should be making in arts and crafts or whatever, clay, now we're making helmets like Thor, right, with big wings and stuff. It's like now we're we did helmets like the Dark Knight, not the Dark Knight, Black Knight. And now we're like really leaning into our hobby now, and just starting to enjoy ourselves. But as you sort of get out of adolescence into adulthood, it does start to become a little bit weirder again. But now it feels to me like now it's not that it's cool to be a collector, and it's not that
it's more acceptable. I think.
Yeah, but it's also not that it's almost normalized now.
Yeah,
and you know that it is because most action figure lines are skewed towards adults.
Yeah.
Because we're paying top dollar for toys because we have jobs, right? They can say Marvel Legends here in Australia, or anyway, Marvel Legends now $50 a pop, right?
Wow,
and
it's expensive there.
It is so expensive. $50 a pop for a Marvel Legend. You're going to buy it because you're an adult collector and you have a job.
Yeah.
Crazy. Right, and you look at the quality of toys that kids have. And I haven't seen a real good quality toy for kids until I saw the latest Turtle line that came out from the latest movie. I thought, now we've got some good toys for kids, right? But after a while, it's sort of when it used to be uncomfortable to be the only adult in the toy aisle, and that's why I like to buy all of my stuff online so I can leave the toy aisles for the kids. But no, go on.
I was gonna say I wear a lot of t-shirts, right? I'm like a t-shirt and jeans guy. So I have a lot of like imagery on t-shirts. Like one of my favorite
Gazz, you
cartoon.
predicted the future. You predicted the future.
I did. Hey, there he is.
He said hi to you like 20 minutes ago.
I thought I saw his little symbol. Anyway, so hey Jim. So I wear a lot of t-shirts. So like I was wearing Grandizer t-shirt, right? So it's a giant robot, right? And at work, so I wear these at work, right? See, I'm comfortable with it. Whatever. I don't hide it. I had one of the bigger upper people in the office. One of the managers and stuff. Makes like triple what I make, right? So I'm walking down the hall. He walks up next to me. And he looks at my shirt and he goes, when I was a kid, I really loved Voltron. I really did. And I'm like, what about now? Do you like him now? And he's like, yeah, I love Voltron. I was like, well, you should go look online. You can get a Voltron toy. He's like, I can't do that. Why not? Just walk off. Like I remember I got hired to the company I worked for, and I spent like an hour and a half talking James Bond with like the CEO. After
how good is that?
That's crazy. Yeah.
Pop culture stuff is pretty easy to have like a deep conversation with, because everyone's got like some sort of pop culture thing that they were into or are into. But when you find somebody that you didn't expect out in the at the bar or whatever, and they start talking about things that you're into, it's like, oh yes. Or you overhear a conversation, it's like, oh, I want to be over at that table. I know what they're talking about.
They start talking about something, and you hear them talking about, they can't remember the name of it, and you go, oh, that was such and such, and they're like, oh yeah, you like that too? I'm like, yeah. Well.
It's very easy. It's very easy to make a friend for the night at the bar if you overhear a conversation about Voltron or He-Man or something like that, or if they sing a soundtrack song from one of the movies that you're into. It's like, oh yeah, I love that movie.
I went to my nephew's birthday party. This was a couple of years ago. I think it was like a second, third, I think it's 3 years old birthday party, and I was wearing a Last Starfighter t-shirt.
Oh yeah, nice.
Yeah. And the looks I got, like the double glances at, like people like, yeah, I remember that movie.
Yeah,
go watch it. It's so good.
Like, where do I know that from? Do you have a T-shirt that says "I tried to revive Megaforce and all I got was this lousy T-shirt"?
I got like 4 Megaforce T-shirts. And Jim, I don't know if Mike's seen this up. He's still there, but look, what?
That is so cool.
Yeah, Ace Hunter.
Something that I do not give my time and energy to now, though, is negativity around it. And so I've been in several scenarios where people will say, "Oh, what do you do for fun?" Or what's some of your hobbies, right? And I'll say, "Oh, I'll sit with Gazz and we talk on YouTube about toys and stuff." And then if they start to, like talk down about it or whatever, I'll just shut the conversation down and say, "That's all good. It's not for you. Don't worry about it."
Yeah.
So, but why do you do it? Don't worry about it. It's all good. It's not for you. Don't worry about it. I don't have to explain myself. I'm over 40s now. I don't have to explain what I'm into to somebody who is obviously, no matter what I say, they are not going to get it. Mm-hmm. Or at the end, they're going to go, "Oh well, if that's what you're into, right?" I don't need any of that. So if I get even an inkling where it's like, "Oh, why would you do that?" or "Why would you bother?" I'm like, "Yeah, don't worry about it. It's all good. Don't worry about it."
My brother was kind of like in a phase where like he would see me like buy some of this stuff like GI Joes and stuff like that, and just kind of wonder why I'm doing it. So I stood there and I went, and he's like, "Was this stuff worth anything?" And I'm like pointing at stuff like, "Well, this action figure is probably about $150. This one's probably like $200 if you
right
like that." He's like, just looking at me, he's like, "You gonna sell them?" I'm like, "No, I'll probably give them to."
People always ask that. Yeah. Are you going to sell it if it makes money? It's like, no, because they're not going to buy another one.
no. I go no, because if I don't want them anymore, and if my nephew's old enough and he likes them, I'll probably just give them to him and have him play with them. Right?
So does it have thumb kissing action?
Yes, it does. Yes, it does, Mike. Yes, it does. He's got a thumb right there, buddy. Look at that. What? I'm going to do animation here. What? I'm going to give you a little thumb.
See that? Oh, there it is. Yeah.
Boom! Kissing action.
Phil's saying the teachers around him have kaiju on their desk, mate. You would love it over there, I reckon.
I know. I think Japan is like the place I should be.
Yeah. You would be in your element. You probably wouldn't even leave the airport. You'd be so overwhelmed with everything just at the airport. You're like,
there goes kaiju. Kaiju and giant robots. Yeah, let's go.
Perfect. So if you look at the Fresh Monkey Fiction, Afro Kung Fu Private Eye, and don't get excited, then we can't be friends. So I think there is a connecting with collectors. Like you can connect over this stuff very, very easily. It's only when it gets to things outside of our passion that sort of makes it feel a bit yuck. And very quickly it can turn from something that you're passionate about and that you like is all of a sudden people get on the hate train. People love a good hate train.
Well,
I don't know, man. I'm not, first of all, I'm not on the like what you like, and right, I'm not necessarily like what you like, right? I'm okay with having a debate about something, like a friendly debate, right? But I'm not on the hate train, right? Where people are like, oh, you don't have to like everything. I don't like everything.
Well, I mean, but you're right. You don't have to like everything. I mean, you can like something and not fully enjoy it and get invested in it, right? But you can say, oh, that's all right, that's cool, or you can say, well, that's not for me, and just say, I don't have an opinion on it because it's not in my wheelhouse. I don't really go either way on it.
Right. And to clarify, Fresh Monkey Fiction has some very interesting figures. Yeah, I like them. I like the look of them. Some of them are very good. Gazz, you're making a motorcycle for new Eagle Force, not technically Mega Force. I don't know. Eagle Force is pretty mega.
Well, I don't know. I beg to differ, Jim. Where did I put the card? Where is it?
So I just want to clarify with the not being on the whole like what you like and leave it alone. But yeah, how cool is that? Hang on, let me use
Mega Force right there. Mega Force, Strike Force leader. I got plans to make a specialized. I gotta see if I can find it. I do have like an anniversary Ram cycle that I can maybe paint up to make it look like a cycle. It's not gonna look just like a cycle, but it's gonna be good enough.
If they start bringing out vehicles, then it's game over, man. You're all in, right?
What, O-ring? Oh, well, yeah. I mean, look, the Eagle Force line is pretty good. I do have I think I have like a total of 4 figures. I bought like Matt Matheson, which is supposed to be like the Bionic Man,
right?
Steve Austin. I have this like crazy guy, looks like Stalin. Pretty much, he got the Stalin mustache. He's an enemy leader, and he's wearing like this fishbowl like space helmet, which I'm like, that's cool. And I got Maverick here, Ace Hunter, and then I bought I think his name's Jack Walsh, the Jack Burton figure. And I'm like, I looked at the rest of them, and I'm like, they're cool. A lot of them are like, a lot of them you can't get because they're like sold out, at least on BBTS. But I mean, it's a good line, but I'm like an O-ring guy, and these are a little bit bigger than O-ring,
right?
But they're cool. And like, again, this like my collecting habit is like, if it's not G.I. Joe, well, even with G.I. Joe, it's just what I think. For me, I think is cool. I mean, I might not like it today, but never know. Like 2 weeks from now, I probably think it's going to be cool. So the Hydro Viper is never going to be cool to me, though. But
that's I was just about to lean into that, right? So when I was like, like what you like, right? And I'm not down for like what you like, right? Because I feel like there can be a conversation that happens that doesn't have to be fueled by hate or negativity, but still be able to have an opinion that differs, right? So a running gag that we have is that you loathe Hydro Vipers, right? But as a whole, you like G.I. Joe.
I love G.I. Joe. It's not that. Okay, look. I don't have a Hydro Viper, and I probably won't get one. The positives to the Hydro Viper is that helmet looks great, right? With the web hand, it looks great. But when you remove the helmet, no,
it loses it because it's got such a good art. Like it is menacing, it is frightening, and then but it loses all of that when you take that mask off.
Exactly. If it was just that helmet, if that helmet was his head, I'd be like the biggest Hydro Viper fan. But it's No, I'm sorry, I can't do it. But I don't hate it to the affection that anybody that gets them. Well, that's not really true because when we were at Joe Fest last year, Adam was picking up high and throwing it back.
Well, that's what I mean, though. So you can have a difference of opinion. You can have you can hate something, but it doesn't mean that we can't be buddies, right?
Yeah,
you can hate on something, but it doesn't change my view, and I'm not going to try and change your view.
No,
that Jack does look great. Is it Jack though? Is it Jack? Is that what you're telling it is?
I think his name is Frank. I think it's Frank Walsh. Again, I have the what did I put the block? Oh, there it is. So it's what's his name?
So Phil's got it right.
Yeah, his name is Frank Walsh. Okay, and so he comes from the blade. The blade cuts both ways is the name of the thing. So it's like their version of Big Trouble in Little China. And I'm like, it's pretty cool. I mean, it's not Jack, but it is Jack to me. And like Jack, I mean, he doesn't have that shirt on, but like, why would he wear the same shirt over and over again?
I'm guilty of wearing the same shirt over and over again. I have a cupboard filled with just black polo shirts. That's like all I wear these days. That's it, right? I'll get whenever I go back to the shops, I was like, I'll get some more polo shirts. Really? Again?
No, but I mean, the line is good. The figure's cool. All good.
Oh, it looks cool. I wouldn't pick it up. I wouldn't know what to do with it. But Phil's saying, I love Hydro Vapors. I still love Gazz, despite his crack in his taste.
Oh, yeah, man. Well, thanks, Phil. I love you, buddy.
I don't know about... So other than Sarge, right, where I'm guilty of buying anything Sarge related, although I don't have the bendies, I'll probably try and pick them up. I think they were a pre-order thingy. I don't have those. But I wouldn't not... I'm not going out of my way not to get them. I just... I haven't. But I probably would pick them up. But any scale on Sarge is fine, right? But that's not to say that I collect all scale action figures. I just have a slaughtered disorder and have to continue to pick them up. But even now, I've slowed down on picking up G.I. Joe O-ring Sarge figures because they are starting to get a little bit too pricey.
Yeah,
and they can go anywhere from 50 up to 100 and up to 150, depending on how complete they are here. So you know they are a little bit too. I probably priced myself out. I probably single-handedly increased the prices and rarity of Sarge because I have so many of them.
I think the collecting is funny, right? So when we did that Christmas swap, the Secret Santa swap that year, I sent you a present and I threw in like Wild Bill and a couple of Sarges, right?
Yeah.
And I looked at it, I'm like looking at it, I was like, I just don't want to send this. If I want to send this, you know, it's cost me a little bit to send it, so I might as well throw in some stuff in there, right? So I was looking at my Joe's, and I'm like, well, I guess I could add to his Sarge collection by giving him a couple of Sarges, right? So I'm like,
I appreciate it.
Right, so I'm like the Marauder Sergeant and the Warthog Sergeant. I'm probably never gonna have the Warthog, so there'd be no reason for me to have them, right? So that's why I sent them. And now that I got the Warthog, I had to go get a Sarge for the Warthog. And then the other day I was in one of the stores that I go to with that vintage stuff, and they had a Marauder Sarge, and I'm like, I was sitting there for a good like 10 minutes, like debating whether I should get him or not. And I'm like, well, I just sent him to Zazel. Why am I maybe I should get them. But now the pre-sale for the classified version it comes out. So when I get that one, I won't have to worry about getting a vintage one because I'll have that one. So,
and I do appreciate you sending those to me. By the way, they're pride and joy. Same with the Wild Bill. But the and the pre-order for Marauders Sarge. But the original Marauders Sarge was the last version of Sarge that I picked up, and I was like, it's my least favorite. Like I like it in its own way, but it's my least favorite because of the tone of the skin. It's like I call it mannequin skin because it looks like
he's got his wristbands and they're not yeah.
Here's a good question. I'll let you answer this. I need to get my charger so I can plug this in. Give me 1 second.
Right.
One moment, please.
What would you guys say is the biggest downside of adult collecting? The biggest downside for me is like, I think for me personally is like you see all this really good stuff come out. Like there's a whole bunch of stuff comes out, and you might not have the funds to get them all. I think it's a downside because you want to get them. And the way that things are now is limited release, so they're only out for a certain amount of time, and then the only time you're going to see them is in like vintage shops, and they might be double, triple the price. Or when they come out, you can't get one, and you go on eBay or whatnot, and you see them triple the price, and you know that if you wait, you can get it, but you don't want to wait. Get that FOMO feeling, I guess. But I mean, downside is like this, like too much good stuff to get that you like get your attention. Again, you gotta draw the line in the sand and say, yeah, well, I can like this stuff from a distance and not get too invested in it. But you know what I'm saying? Like I really like the Animals of the Warrior Kingdom line, but I mean, I don't have the funds to like get or space to get into that. But I really do like the line. I really do like it. Or like even classifieds, because I was in the classified, but you know they're pricey. $25 a pop, but then again, I mean that's the way things are today. So I guess downside would be just having not enough money to go around to get all the stuff that you really want. But then again, it goes back to being a kid. Like you didn't have everything you wanted when you were a kid. It's like you picked like certain things like GI Joes, Transformers, like die-cast cars. You were like what, 50 cents a pack, 25 cents a pack, I guess. I'm not showing my age a little bit, maybe 99 cents, I don't know. but this is me rambling on.
I think the biggest downside of adult collecting is I'm sorry, I missed some of what you were saying. I had to get the I was like down to like 3%. So I think some of it is the pricing now, right?
Yeah,
I think the quality is pretty good, but you lose the ability to satisfactorily collect a complete toy line because it costs so much. It costs so much because they price it for adult collectors now, and which means that, and these are just normal toys that you see in the toy aisle, like Marvel Legends, as I was saying, but it means that it's priced out for most kids.
Yeah.
So if a parent isn't a collector, they don't understand that their prices are gouged because of adult collecting.
Yeah,
kids are
unfortunately.
And I think another negative aspect of adult collecting is that we don't leave anything for the kids. We strip the toy aisles of everything cool because we either are going to collect it or resell it. And you might agree with me.
I think that's one of the reasons why I do a lot of online shopping. I don't usually go into stores.
If I can get it online, I will, and I keep the toy aisles for the kids. But I think another big one is that there is a certain sense of instant rarity now.
Oh,
right?
yeah.
And I'll use Scare Glow as an example, right? A lot of people wanted Scare Glow from the latest version that came out with Masters of the Universe Origins because they couldn't afford to get the vintage one because it was so rare. Now this one that was coming out is as available as any other one, but because people perceive it to be the popular choice, it's now instantly $100, right?
Yeah,
or whatever, some stupid price. And people that are going into the shops and pick them all up are not leaving them for people who want to collect them. They're buying them all up because they want to resell them.
Yeah.
And so instantly seeing a price for a toy on the secondary market when it's supposed to be on shelves. It used to be that you go to eBay, you can find something that's on shelves today, and maybe a slight markup. Now it's like stupid prices.
Yeah. Well, I mean, there's that, but I don't want to say that I don't really do this, but
Adam,
I don't look at things as this going to be worth a lot of money like later on. For me, it's like playability or something that I really want, like that Maverick figure at Ace Hunter figure. I really wanted that, And if
Right.
it was going to be $50, I would have still got it because it's that one thing that I really want. But I think because I was buying comics in the boom, right? In that early 90s boom. You know, Image Comics came out, Marvel, all this massive stuff, and they were putting out like issues. Like number one issue would come out, and it would be like 5 different versions of it. I mean, they still kind of do it today, right? But I mean, you had your standard issue, you had like an alternate artist issue, then it was a foil cover, and then it was and they were all supposed to be worth all this money. It was going to be worth all this money. And back then, I don't want to say that. I don't want to say that I sit there and went, "Oh, I know this isn't going to be worth a lot of money." But I looked at it, and I used to frequent a comic shop, a very small comic shop, right? I believe it was called Stan's Toy Chest. It's a really small comic shop. I would go in there daily, go down and hang out with these 2 guys in there, the owner and this other guy, and we would talk comics all the time, and like the worth of comics and reason why they cost so much. And they were telling me, like, dude, he's like, you can buy that foil cover and you can buy this and you can keep it in pristine condition. He goes, but everybody else is doing this, so it's not going to be worth nothing. It may go up in value a little bit, but it's not going to be worth nothing. He's like, you want to know why Superman Action Comics, the first appearance of Superman, is worth so much money? Because people rolled it up and put it in their back pockets and they cut all the ads in the back. So to get one that's in perfect condition is very rare. It's like, that's why these are never going to be worth that much money. And I just looked at him and I went, it sounds like you guys know what you're talking about. So since then, I wasn't like looking at anything, is it going to be worth money?
I'm with you. I know that there was, when we were talking about the Phantom Menace earlier, people were adamant that the Phantom Menace action figures were going to be the collectible to have and that they were going to be worth money later. We now know that that's not the case. But I didn't believe it when I saw it. I didn't believe it. But
you're comparing it to the original wave of Star Wars, and the original wave of Star Wars came out. What it was done with those figures, they were played to death with, right?
Yeah.
You get a really good one is very rare. Right?
So even after the internet really started to get some steam, right, and eBay became a thing, those figures that were almost unobtainable, like the original Star Wars figures, now became, like, when they first got put online, they were like stupid prices, thousands and thousands and thousands. Now you can pretty much get yourself a full collection of vintage style Star Wars figures, and you won't have to take out a house loan.
Yeah, it's true. It's true. Well, that's like the G.I. Joe. I remember when I started collecting vintage, it was probably like the late teens. I got back into it in the mid-teens and started collecting the anniversary stuff, and then I got the old ring bug, right? I was like, oh, I'm gonna just start getting these. I have more connection to this stuff than I do anything else. So I started buying it. When I started buying them up, they weren't that pricey. I mean, they were still like your certain figures are certain much. Like I picked up an Action Force Stalker figure, which is Snake Eyes, right?
Yeah.
For like, I think I got them for like $40.
Yeah,
right?
so
because I couldn't get a Snake Eyes.
$40 for an action figure today.
Yeah.
Right?
I couldn't find a Snake Eyes.
You can get a vintage one for that price. Why wouldn't you?
Yeah, I couldn't get a Series 1 Snake Eyes, V1 Snake Eyes, for anything under like $100 and something. So I was like, I'm not going to pay that much for the figure because I'm gonna get this guy, right?
Yeah,
and he'll be my Snake Eyes. It's just gray face and a gray grenade. It's not much different.
I reckon he looks arguably cooler than regular Snake Eyes. Can you remind me who Rick Ollie is again?
Rick Ollie, I have no idea. Is he? No idea.
The price is going to go through the roof, though. But I also think, scalpers do ruin it. So I also think. There we are. Fair enough. Oh yeah. Okay, yes, I do remember now. I was like, I know this name. Yeah, and there's a few other points here, that, particularly this one. Intentional low production runs, limited windows for pre-orders are enough to regularly anger fans too. And I will also add exclusives that are only available to, maybe USA and Canada.
I agree. Well, I mean, now it's a little differently. Now they're offering you, like, if it's a Target exclusive, they offer it on, I think their Hasbro's own. Well, I'm just referring to GI Joe because that's my deal, right? But I know they're offering those elsewhere, not just at the store. Like, you're able to buy it on their website as well as going to Target. Right, so you're obviously like the exclusive.
But where are they delivering to, Gaz? Because it's not international.
Yeah, unfortunately,
yeah. Like you that can help me out.
Unfortunately, I wish it could work better than that. You know, maybe I'll get a job at Hasbro and we can change that. But
I'll say this though, Gaz.
Exactly.
All right, you know why you don't hear me complaining too much about it though? It's because I'm an adult and they're toys.
Very true. They're all just toys.
In the end, I can't. There are so many real problems in the world where me complaining about not being able to get a toy just seems a little bit.
See,
like it just seems a little bit iffy.
I have a hang up. One thing that bothers me. I don't. Every now and then I go look for this particular toy line or items for this one thing, right? And it always gets me because they're always so pricey, right? There's always so pricey. Like I can find like trinket things for this thing for like between like $30 and $70, right? Little trinket things. But like the main thing that you want to get, like an actual figure or whatnot, always seems to be ranged like $215 up, right? And this is because it's only sold in Phil's neck of the woods, right? Or in countries that seem to be still popular and not as popular here anymore. And what I'm talking about is Grandizer. And like I can't find a Grandizer figure, like an actual like working, like plastic movable parts with a spaceship for anything under like $300. It's like I want it, but I don't want to pay that much money for it. And it's more like it's not an anger thing. It's more just like a, what do you call it? What's the word I'm looking for? Just I guess a hang up. It's just, why does it need to be that much? I guess, yeah, you have to import it into the US, right? But why not sell it here?
Even then, I reckon there's still a markup, right? Ridiculously so. But it sucks the fun out of it. Yeah. Because now all of a sudden it's like, what is this worth? And I put it down to this, right? And this is I can't remember where I first heard it, but I heard it some years ago, and it's something that I go by now, right?
Yeah.
If I want to buy something, right, I think to myself, if I was to lose this money, not spend it, but if I was to lose it, how detrimental would that be?
Yeah, exactly.
Right? And if it's detrimental to the point of I can't afford to lose this money, then I won't buy it.
Yeah, that's how I am now.
So I love the look of the cantina. The Star Wars cantina scene is my favorite from Star Wars, right? Love it. When I was an early dad and I couldn't afford to buy action figures, I would limit myself to just picking up a Cantina Alien if it came out, right? Mm-hmm. That was what I would put my spending money on if I had any. And so that became my collecting habit. And I had like all the Cantina Aliens that I could find, right? And these were ones that were coming out, not the vintage ones, but like as they were coming out with the new Power of the Force stuff, right?
Yeah.
I was like, oh, Hammerhead, I'll get that guy. Greedo, perfect. I'll pick up that guy, right? But I wasn't picking up Hans. I wasn't picking up Leia's. I wasn't picking up Chewbacca's. I think I did later on grab a Han and Chewie because I wanted them for the Cantina because I got the cardboard Dio. And I loved that. In fact, I got 2 cardboard Dios and put them together to make one big Cantina. So when this one came out, I was talking to my brothers and they went, man, you would have loved this, growing up. You would have loved this as an early adult collector. And I do, and I think I would really, really love it. But I can't justify paying that much. I'm not saying it's not worth the price.
Yeah, I agree.
I'm not worth it, but I just can't see myself dropping that kind of money. The same with the Sentinel, same with Unicron. Those were great looking toys. But again, I couldn't justify it because once you have something, right? So I have this, right? This is great. But it was at a price that I was like, if I lost that money, it wouldn't be detrimental, right? Because this is no longer the money that I paid for this no longer exists, and this isn't worth the money I paid for it right now. So you have to, for me, I have to think about it that way.
So
That goes with a lot of things, but
well, yeah, like the those transforming transformers, the Prime, Megatron, and Grimlock.
right.
You know how bad I would love that Grimlock.
Yeah.
I would love that thing. I would love that.
That is right
But
up
again,
your alley.
$1,500.
Yeah, exactly.
Why is he
Like,
even
it is
like
great. I would love it.
the other two are like what, like 900 or less for the other
I'm not
two?
sure.
Like Megatron.
Yeah,
Why is
that's- yeah,
Grimlock? Why is Grimlock that much more expensive? That's
Popularity,
crazy.
buddy. Popularity. Lil, this is a very interesting question, and I'm glad that you brought this one up. Have you two ever been on a chase after a figure or toy for a long time, and once you got it, you were disappointed with it, and that you felt betrayed? Not betrayed. However, I will say this: once I have something, I no longer really care about it. Right? I like that I have it. Like, for instance, like, what have I got? What have I got in my drawer of toys? I think I cleaned out my drawer. No, I got nothing.
I'm trying to think of something that I've chased after for a long time. And
So, for instance, right, when I was getting all the Origins figures, right, I'll be like, I've got to get this one. This one's cool, right? And then when I got it, I was like, okay, I have it. I'm not thinking about it anymore. It's in the collection. I'm not thinking about it anymore. Now I'm thinking about what's the next one coming out.
Yeah.
Right, and then it's like, I'm all good. I'm all good with that one now.
So I'm thinking. Right. Let's see. Do I have anything here that I chased after for a while and then wanted, and I didn't, and I don't was disappointed in it. No, because you know what? I don't have anything that I chased. I'm not really like again. I don't think I really chase after anything anymore. Like
Right, but now that you have a Megaforce action figure, right?
yeah, that was probably that's more of a dream.
Right,
It's more
you're
of
not
a
really
dream.
clamoring for it now, right? Because you got it. So you're
I
not.
got it.
You're not.
I love it.
About it. Because you
But,
got,
like-
yeah, you can love it. Now you got it.
If I don't like something, I usually don't buy it. But if I buy it and I don't like it, it'll probably end up either in a bin, like I don't mean like trash bin, but like in a junk bin, or
Yeah.
I'll either donate it to the Salvation Army or I'll give it to my nephew.
Yeah,
But
I don't think I've
to
ever
be
really
disappointed
sold.
into something. Oh, you know what? Yeah, I do have something. All right, hold on. I'll be right back.
All right. I will. While you're looking for that, I'm gonna mention something about this Ore Striker. Oh, I'm gonna mute you for a second, guys, until you come back. I don't know what's happening there with your mic, but I love this. But I have the same problem with this that I had with remember Binaltech and alternators. So I have an issue with this that I've got the same issue I had with Wheeljack and Grimlock when they came out in the alternator line, and that is that the feet. Oh, sorry again. Yeah, you're all good.
Yeah, I'm good.
So the problem I have with this is that the feet are the seats, right?
Yeah.
How will a giant robot be running around on padded seats and not just tear them up? Right. I know that there's probably that's overthinking it.
It's probably like the same kind of material, or transformer material as the soles of our sneakers.
Yeah, maybe. Yeah, but even then, you think about it, right? Maybe it's made out of tire tread, but that bugged me with Grimlock. It bugged me with Wheeljack when in the alternator Binaltech line, and it bugs me with this too. Just feet seats. I can't go for feet seats. I can't do it.
Sorry, here. This was a big disappointment, and maybe because I didn't read the fine print in the. Well, I'm just trying to make it look presentable. I don't want to like so fans.
I'm not sure what RoboSend transformers are.
So here I bought this. Maybe I didn't read the fine print, but I was super excited to get this like 3 3/4 version of my buddy Grandizer.
Oh yes, yeah.
And I'm like, oh, I can't wait. It's gonna be like this little action robot that I can play around with and stuff. And well, unfortunately, the only movement on this dude, articulation, is his head, which just, and his arms that go like this, like a 5 POA. His legs don't move. He's got a little bit of die cast. So it's just basically meant to stand on your shelf. Or, play with it like this. but that was a disappointment, and it was, I think, a little bit too much for what it is. I think I paid like $30 for this thing, you know. But again, this is one of my hangups. Like this is a thing that I absolutely adore. I love 70s monster, the 70s giant super robots. I love these dudes, and with the popularity of Gundam in the US, I would think that these would be as popular. And like they had model kits for these, like the whole line of these guys, and I've got them all, and I got them off for like $25. I would buy one and build it. And it's a very simple, easy model to build, and I have like a ton of them. But now you go Space Thunder, exactly, Rainbow Beam. No, anyway, but now you go trying to find them. Bandai made them, and they're like super ridiculously priced. They're super expensive now. And I'm like, I don't want it. Like, I would think that maybe it's just me. Well, I know Mike's a big Grandizer fan, but it's like it was so popular in the 80s. Force 5 here, we had a show called Force 5. It was like five different Japanese animated shows, and one of them was Grandizer, and one was Guy King, and it was so cool back in the 80s. And like there are a couple of animated new animations of these guys out. Like, and there's a couple of them have like revamped episode like series and stuff like that. And I would think that these would be so popular with Gundam and like Voltron and that stuff, but they're not. And like again, finding something like, then this is just like a 3 3/4, 4-inch figure, right? And this cost me $30. And like the massive ones are like $300 to $400, $500, and it's like, oh, why? Why can't you just have them here? Sell them here, please. But you know, that's just my aim.
It's adult collectors, mate, with a bank balance.
These are coming from like regular stores, like from Bandai. I look through Bandai, and it's how much they cost because they're not sold here. Yeah. So you got to pay the shipping costs, which is ridiculous. So now whatever.
Gazz, you would absolutely lose your marbles, I reckon, if you saw how much we were paying for even loose, broken toys here in Australia. It's crazy. But Nate, if I could give you a piece of that cable would cost probably $60 here.
That's insane.
It's pretty bad. But Nate, I reckon what you should do is save all the money you want to spend for toys. Get yourself an airplane ticket. Airplane ticket. Who says that? Get yourself a flight to USA, right? Come to Joe Fest and buy the toys cheap. And you might be thinking to yourself, yeah, but I've just spent all that money on a flight. Yeah, but you've spent all that money on a flight to a destination that's going to be really fun, like Joe Fest, and you're going to be able to pick up those toys and also have a really cool experience. Or buy broken toys and spend hundreds, if not thousands of dollars on broken toys, which, to be fair, you fix up very well. But you know, you can have the toys and the memories that go with picking up that toy, or you can have the toy and the saltiness from having to spend that much. So you decide how you want to do it. Because when I went to Joe Fest, I saw buckets and buckets of loose Joes for like cheap peanuts. They would have probably taken peanuts. Like, yeah, I could get some peanuts. So they're the transforming ones from that. I don't know why I didn't remember. Roboson are the transforming ones. Grimlock probably costs more because it's not a boxy shape. Might be more complicated to make.
Yeah,
true. Yeah, true.
$800, dude.
Looks so cool. It looks so cool.
So cool, but yeah, I can't justify paying that much money. So.
What I also think is that if you're not gonna futz around with it, like Marco says, futz around with it. I'm saying futz, by the way.
Futz.
My Aussie accent might sound worse. If you're not going to mess around with it, futz with it.
It's a good Oz striker.
But you might as well just have a statue, though, right? And same with action figures. If you're not going to mess around with it, you might as well just have a statue.
Yeah.
And what you have with your robot there is a mix of both, right? It's like not quite enough for an action figure and a little bit too much for a statue.
I mean, maybe I should relook at it and maybe look at it through like little Gazz's eyes and be like, little Gazz would have loved this dude.
Well, yeah, he definitely would have.
Because it wouldn't have to move his legs and stuff because he would have just went and kicked the crap out of everybody. But, you know, older Gazz is like, I want articulation.
We're spoiled for choice as adults because we know what articulation that we can get. But for me as a kid, the only super articulated action figure I really needed or wanted was Spider-Man, and he was advertised as such, right? So many points of articulation. I was like, yeah, because it's Spider-Man. But does Cyclops need it? No. There's always been a problem for Grandizer, not enough of a global following to justify big production runs to lower the cost. Yeah, and that's another thing.
But the thing is, it like Grandizer is huge in South America. It's huge in like Italy. I guess it's you're right. It's only a small portion, and it's huge with me. It's huge with him.
Yeah. We'll give it a Gazz discount.
Yeah, we should have our own discount. We should,
if only you knew someone in Japan that could help you out.
Yeah, that's true.
If only.
But at least, I have to say, Godzilla is reasonably priced. If you get them on release day, which is another thing that takes me off. All right, so one of my recent things was, I really wanted to get the Godzilla -1 from Bandai.
Yeah.
And I saw him at my vintage shop that I frequent, and they had him for $150. Now I know that's a lot of money. But I also know that these Monster, I think called Monster Figure Arts. I think it's the name of the line. And I know these. I have a 1954 Godzilla. This one.
Nice.
I have that one up there, and he's like my favorite out of the ones that I have. So I know they're worth the cost. I know they're worth the price, and I know that like after the production run's done, they go up in price. It's like you can't get them cheap. So I didn't buy them, but I was like, the minute I left the store, and I was on my way home, I had told my friend, I'm like, I should have got that. She's going to turn around. I'm like, no. I left there. I didn't get it for a reason, but I should have got it. I know I should have got it. So I went back like the following week, and they had sold it.
Of course.
And I was like, oh, that's okay. It wasn't meant to be, I guess, right? It's fine.
Yeah.
Right.
I've had those moments too.
So I started looking them up online, and they're like legitimately over $200 being sold. And I did a Google search and sales stuff, and they're all over $200. And I'm like, damn. So I went on to BBTS, and they had it on BBTS, sold out. And I'm like, damn, there's no way I'm gonna get this. But luckily, Super 7 came out with their own version, and it was like I think $80. So I signed up for that pre-sale. I signed up for their pre-sale. But then all of a sudden, I think it was about a month ago, I just happened to be strolling through BBTS, and there it was, the Bandai version, right? On pre-sale, they were getting another wave in.
Oh, nice.
I think it was like $140.
Yeah.
And I'm like, all right, I'm gonna get it. So I signed up for the pre-sale, which I love and hate pre-sales. One thing I love it. And the thing I hate about it is everything is a pre-sale now. Everything is a pre-sale. The thing that I love about it is that it gives you time. I mean, you're obviously guaranteed one, right? Obviously.
Well, Big Bad Toy Store don't need money down right at.
Yeah, they don't take money down. They you just sign up for the pre-order and you get charged.
Very dangerous. Very dangerous.
But very dangerous. Yeah, but the thing is, it gives you that time. Like if you change your mind down the way, you're like, well, I don't really need it. Like I'm not sure. I think this one comes down around. I think it comes out just after the Super 7 one comes out. So if I get the Super 7 one and I'm loving that one, then there's no need for that one. But I think I'm going to get both. But it's like that. It's just like you get frustrated with pre-sales because everything is a pre-sale. I mean, like the plus side is that you're gonna get your item depending on where you're from. Like if I know that Walmart's already canceled it, but
I reckon for me, the feeling of a pre-sale is the adult equivalent of looking through the toy catalog as a kid and pointing out which one you wanted down the line, right? So while you might not, it's not coming out till later, but you look at that catalog and you go, I can't wait for this to come out. And a pre-sale for me is that same feeling, but it also eliminates, right, the fear of missing out.
That's true.
It eliminates the issue of trying to find it locally because, here in Australia at least, if you find anything, you're lucky, or we're just not going to get it. All right. And another bonus is that it's like you've got it. Don't worry about it. All you got to do is wait for it to show up. right? It takes out so much stress of collecting. And I know that there are people that love the thrill of the hunt for toy hunting,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
But I think that also comes with not caring if you don't get it,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
Because if there is a pre-order, but you want to wait and see if you can get it at the stores, but then you're okay with not having it, right? And there are lots of toys that I don't care if I don't have it, but if there's something that I really want and it isn't available for a pre-order, I'm like, oh man, I'm probably not going to get it. Like it's just too hard. It's just too hard here.
And then there's the wait.
Right.
Like all right, so like I think last year, at the end of last year, I had put like 4 or 5 items on pre-sale, right? One was I don't know if you're familiar with the Guyver. Do you know what the Guyver is?
Yeah. I know Guyver. Yeah.
So I put one Guyver 1 on pre-sale. I had put Gamera. You know who Gamera is, right?
Yep.
Giant kaiju. Put him on pre-sale. Then this Winter Soldier figure came out, right? That's made by this Japanese company. I forget. They make these really highly articulated figures, and they all really look good. And I put that on pre-sale.
Mm-hmm.
And then the Super 7 Godzilla I put on pre-sale. So those are about four items. And this is why one thing I love about it is like I looked at all of them like a little later, and I was like, do I really need all these? Because this is gonna be a pricey thing, and all coming around like one by one, like one after another, right? Do I really need all of these? Like some of them are like well over $100, right? So I'm like, I think I canceled like 2 out of the 4. Because I was like, I don't need it. I have a Gamera. I don't need another one. I really don't need. I have my favorite Guyver. I don't need to get this one. But like that Winter Soldier, I couldn't say no to because I really love the Winter Soldier. And I'm like, I need this figure. I need this. Now it's just the anticipation of getting him. I know he's on his way because I got the thing. I was hoping he's gonna be here today.
Mm-hmm.
Right? I thought he's gonna be here today, and now tomorrow I'm gonna be at work, and I'm like, is he gonna be home? Is he gonna be there? I purposely don't look at my email to see confirmations. I want to be surprised. I want that little feeling of like when I was a kid and I'd go down to like Child World, which is our rival to Toys R Us that we had in our area. Just like a Toys R Us, but just Child World. And going to the aisle where G.I. Joe was and finding that one G.I. Joe that you wanted, or a surprise Joe.
Yeah.
You know, like
I was often surprised at what Chuckles, I think, was a big surprise for me. I was like, what is this?
Yeah,
I had to have it. I was like, this is really out there, you know? So Michael was saying, is JOMO a thing? The joy of missing out. I have experienced JOMO. I have. And it's there are certain different reasons for it for me. But one of them was if they announce something that's going to be expensive, but also they announce that it's not available here, I'm like, oh, thank God, because then I've got to. If it is announced here, then I was like, I've got to make a real choice. But if the choice is taken away from me, I'm like, oh, thank you.
Well,
thank you.
I mean, I experienced JOMO with that Grimlock figure, that $1,500 Grimlock. I was like, it's too expensive for me, but my God, the joy I would have just playing with. I would literally take that thing with me everywhere. I would have him with me everywhere. I'd take him to work and have him walk down. I'd take him to work and have him walk down the hallway. But look at this. I think I experienced a little JOMO this weekend for Joe Fest. Like,
I felt a certain sense of joy for the people that were there, but a certain sense of longing that we couldn't attend. Like, we had such a great time last year. Yeah. I would love to go without digestive issues for a change, you know.
Don't snap into his Slim Jim and you'll be fine.
Speaking of shoot the shit. It would be a lot because I'm coming back. We're gonna hang out. We're gonna do PowerCon. I don't know when it is or where it is, but we're gonna do PowerCon. We figured out where it was, didn't we? You said Ohio.
It's in Ohio. Yeah.
I didn't know. You're like, where is it and when is it? I was like, I don't know, but let's go.
I think for Joe Fest, it was like, I know how much fun I had last year. So I can only imagine how much fun it would have been this year, right? You know, but like it's like if I didn't know how much fun it was, I mean, I'd just be like bummed that I wasn't able to go.
I wasn't bummed about not going to the year before. Yeah,
Yeah, so it's like, I can hear people talking about it, but I didn't experience it. But now that I've experienced it, it's even like a little more Jomo. I like that now,
Right.
Jomo. That like, oh my God, it's so awesome that like thinking about it makes me happy, but I'm kind of like bummed at the same time that I didn't go.
Yeah. But yeah, I think if we can make PowerCon happen, that would be so good. And I think also because the even though it felt like when we're all meeting up for the first time, technically, even though it felt like we're old friends, right? There is still like that sort of like gauging each other, seeing what the back of everyone's head looks like, right? This time it would be like, oh, okay, cool, we're back together again. Let's go, let's do this.
Do this.
Let's go hang. Let's go get drunk.
Go get a pizza. Get some beer. Play some.
Yeah, nice. Perfect. We need more than 3 days, though, guys. We need a week.
Unfortunately, it needs to be like no. I don't think a week's gonna be long enough because after a week, we're gonna be like, oh man, it's too fast. It was too fast.
Well, I got to spend a week in Canada afterwards, but yeah, Nate, stop buying broken toys for top dollar and save your pennies, and come get an airfare and come and hang out with us at PowerCon. Same with Phil. Phil, get us over there, Phil. But I reckon we should do it. And then going to hang out in Canada. I loved Canada. I absolutely loved every minute of Canada. I did not have a bad time in the US, don't get me wrong, but Canada felt like it just felt like home, right? I don't know if have you been to Canada, guys?
I've only been to Niagara Falls.
Right.
Man, my grandfather used to take us up to like that lake. There's an area called Lake George, area, which is in New York State. I think it's. I could be wrong on my geography, but we went to Niagara for a couple times. That was pretty cool. I don't think we crossed the border though.
USA was intense, right? And I'm sure it's different for you because you live there, right? But Hans and I watching, some interactions and people on the street and whatever, we were both like, this is intense. And I'm sure it wasn't, at all intense, right? But then getting to Canada just felt like so laid back. It was just
I think it depends on in the US. I guess it really depends on where you go because some places are just like intense and some places are pretty laid back. Like where I am, like where I'm here, it's kind of laid back, like a small town area, laid back.
I had my Sarge bag at the airport, right? And someone, I'm not going to do an accent, I'm not going to do an American accent, but someone goes, "Oh, Sergeant Slaughter." And I was like, "Yeah, how cool is that?" And he heard my accent. He's like, and it was like, "Oh man." But the airport felt intense. The Canadian airport was much like an Australian airport for me. This was my first international flight too, so it was like full on. I was already like in panic mode, but it was intense. Like I didn't have any bad experiences. Don't get me wrong. I didn't feel like unwelcome or anything. I didn't feel bad or whatever. I had a great time, but it's like just more intense. Everything's sort of like quicker. Everything's.
You flew out of Charlotte, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a pretty intense airport. Like I usually fly out of Logan, which is Boston.
Right.
I mean, it's an
Charlotte
international airport.
Was under construction too, so I was lost. It was like it was difficult to navigate.
When I flew out of what's the name of the town that it's in, that Joe Fest is in?
Augusta, Georgia.
Augusta. Flew out of Augusta. My flight was like an hour delayed. Right. So we were landing when my plane was supposed to be taking off to go home from Charlotte. I had to run. I had to run from one end of the airport to the other. And
you were at the same airport in Charlotte.
Yeah. No, it was in Atlanta. Yeah. Was it Atlanta? No, it was Atlanta. Yeah, I flew to Atlanta. What am I talking about? Charlotte.
I'm not sure. But yeah, I don't know. It was just I don't know. It was just crazy.
I'm like, I go, this is way too big. The only huge airport I've ever been to other than that airport, which is Atlanta, is Frankfurt. And Frankfurt's huge in Germany. That's a huge airport. But when I went there as a kid, I got carted from one terminal to the other because I would be flying with by myself or my mom. And they would just cart us to the next flight instead of having to walk.
My phone also wasn't working in the US. It was working in Canada. So yeah, Andrew's saying 3 years of going to Joe Fest. I avoided the 1/18th hole this year. I fell in, and I feel like I'm still falling. Yeah, I don't know, man. I love the look of 1/18th scale, but I can't go for it because it's just I don't have the room. I don't have the room. They look, most of the stuff I've seen looks pretty good, but I can't go into it. But yeah, my phone wasn't working, right? So I needed Wi-Fi, and the airport in Charlotte, the Wi-Fi wasn't working because they were under construction, right? There was only a small window of Wi-Fi available. So I had to go outside and wait for Kelly to come and pick me up without having any Wi-Fi or any cell signal. And I was supposed to. Like, it said that my phone was going to be able to work over there. Just didn't.
Yeah. See, with phone was my brother is a tech whiz. I love my brother. We went to Germany one year, and he got so aggravated because we were buying SIM cards for our phones so we can use our phones so we can communicate with us. We weren't going to stick together. We were going to go we're going to do some different stuff. So he's like, we came back. He's like, I'm going to look for a new phone plan for the family because this is ridiculous. So we ended up signing up with Google Fi, which is an internet-based phone system. So no matter where you go, as long as you get an internet, you don't have to worry about it. Internet signal. So I can use my phone and my number when I'm in Germany or if I'm in Australia. It doesn't matter. Which is great. I'm like everybody I know that like complains about their phone. I'm always like, hey, Google Fi. It's freaking brilliant.
Yeah, I think I might have to. I've actually switched networks, so I'm hoping next year won't be an issue. But I think the only issue that I did have was not being able to reach anybody at Joe Fest because the signal was pretty bad for Wi-Fi there. So it would often.
They had like a really choppy like standard one like that. You can just free Wi-Fi. Like the main Wi-Fi was like
it wasn't very good.
I was like, I don't have to pay for it. I'm at the hotel. You should be giving it to me for free.
You had to pay for it?
I think there was like an upper level. Like you get access to the Wi-Fi, and there was like an upper level that like Supreme was like, no, you should give it to me for free. From here, paying money.
Yeah, right. So Andrew is saying no PowerCon for 2024. No, but they're back 2025. Yeah, Gazz and I, we're gonna make it. Gazz, we're doing it, right?
We're gonna try to do it. Yes, sir.
We're going to make it. And Heroic Nonsense is here. I've just found Heroic Nonsense's channel, and I recommend it. Go check it out. Caught a live one. Good job, boys. The great channel. Only new to this channel, but I haven't started to enjoy their content.
Welcome to the clubhouse.
And while I'm at it, do this.
Check it out one time, won't you?
Love it.
Yeah, it's a great channel. Go check it out. There's a lot of great channels here in the chat today.
It gives me that like, didn't they when you put up there, you got like a what do you call it on the video? There was something like Christopher Lee was in the video. They originally showed. Yeah, yeah. Like, oh, you can't show that. So, but that's allowed. Which is I think
that small clip is allowed. But yeah, I showed the full clip with John Wayne and everything.
Yeah. Oh, that's hilarious.
Go to Joe Fest. I highly recommend it. But if you make it to Australia, first round's on me, mate. My shout. I'll buy you beer. Beer's getting expensive though. You can't afford to drink beer and collect toys these days. It's getting out of hand.
No. It is.
Getting well out of hand. But I feel like Joe Fest was a largely positive experience. We kept away from certain areas just to avoid the drama. But for the most part, what a great time! What a great time!
Just looking through all this stuff. I said it before. It's like me and Hans and myself were just like we were almost attached at the hip, just going through stuff. I'm like, Hans, look at this. He's like, Gazz, look at this.
So if I can figure out when PowerCon is, like what month it's in, that would be handy.
Probably towards. I'm guessing that PowerCon is probably. I think it's like later in the year. I think.
Right.
So I'm thinking that probably.
Cool. It would be cool if it was in enough time to do both Joe Fest
Yeah,
and Power King.
definitely.
Like, I definitely can't do both. I was lucky enough, for those that don't know, I was lucky enough to go last year to Joe Fest because of friends and family coming together with my GoFundMe, and they helped me get across the world to another country. Sincerely grateful that they were all able to come and do that, and give me an opportunity that I wouldn't have at the time been able to do. But I'm looking to do it again now that things have turned around. I'm in a better position to be able to do sort of these things. I'm going to come back. Do it again.
They'll probably announce PowerCon probably towards the end of the year, I think.
Yeah, it's only mid-year now.
Yeah.
But I like to plan things, you know.
Yeah.
Speaking of planning things, there's going to be an upcoming transmission soon. Because I got I don't want to show everything that I've got, but I do want to show this because I'm so excited to do this. Space Commander, whose show is incoming transmission on this very channel, he sent me a care package. He sent me another one too, actually, but I haven't received it yet. He sent me a care package. I'm not going to show all of the stuff because I want to go through it with Spacey. But one of the things that I do want to show off, because I love this thing so much, is this Red Shadow base cardboard cutout.
What?
Like a diorama.
That's cool.
Spacey put together. There should be a shorts video. If I could get it right, there should be a shorts video. Is that the right one? Is that the Space Force one? I can't see.
Yeah, I think so. Yeah, I've seen that one. Yeah.
So he put that one together. No, sorry, it's this one. That one. Sorry.
Yeah. Oh yeah, Space Force.
But these are so cool. And there's something about cardboard that it's just like the old cardboard style dios that really brings back a certain level of nostalgia for me. And this reminded me of the
You
cantina.
didn't see that? Like what?
Oh yeah, nice. That's cool. Who did that one again?
This is a Black Major, I think.
Black Major. Right.
I think so.
That's cool. That would be cool. I guess it's because it takes so long. I lost a day coming back. I left on a Monday and I arrived on a Wednesday. I lost Tuesday. Tuesday's gone. I'll never get that Tuesday back. But the memories remain. But yeah, I like to make sure that I'm well planned in advance. I don't want to otherwise I'll get anxiety, you know. It's like, oh
yeah.
Starting
to get antsy about things.
Yeah. Yeah, it's pretty cool. It's pretty bloody cool. But I'm not a very crafty person. This requires glue, so we'll see what happens.
They should do that more often.
They should, because it's I didn't. Space Commander sent it to me. I didn't pay for it, but they're affordable. He sent me the link to check it out on eBay. It's affordable and it looks cool.
Third party doing it. Like
yeah.
Somebody is doing it.
DNM Games, made in the UK.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, DNM Games. Check them out one time, won't you?
Pretty.
But
cool.
you got this from eBay. That's pretty bloody good. It's pretty bloody good.
Check that out.
Yeah, because the good thing about cardboard dios is you can customize them pretty easily, and they're affordable. And harkens back to our childhood. It's just good stuff. We've been almost doing this for 3 hours, Gaz. This might be our longest episode yet.
Holy snaps! Look at that.
Holy mackerel!
We're having a good time.
Time
flies by.
We're making up for lost time because we haven't done it for so long.
Yes.
Was there anything else you wanted to touch on as far as adult collecting goes?
No.
Is there anything that we haven't touched on?
I don't know. I mean, I think we roundabout talked about the way we do anyway. We just wander off in a different tangent, but that's okay. No, I don't really. You just collect the way you collect. I mean, nobody really can tell you how to collect. We can tell you what to collect. You buy the stuff you want to buy. I'm not gonna say. I'm not gonna say like, just do your thing and. Whatever.
Time sure does fly.
Yeah, it does.
That's what it felt like at Joe Fest too. It's like we had all the time in the world in the beginning, and then we were like chasing minutes at the end.
Yeah,
Just
it was crazy. It was crazy fun. It's crazy fun.
You know what? Though I'll say this: walking around Joe Fest with people from all over the world. Like I definitely wasn't someone that traveled the furthest, right? Like I think, like how far does it take Hans? Is Hans further away than I am?
Oh no, you're further than Hans. Hans is in my time zone. He's just
okay.
He's just below. I think he's just above the equator. It took him. It's like I think an 8-hour flight to Miami. I think 7 or 8 hour flight to Miami.
Okay, yeah, no, mine was definitely longer than. Mine was almost 24 hours. But people were there from all over the world. The UK, Trinidad.
Yeah, but you're literally on the other side of the world.
Yeah. Why can't they just go that way then instead of that way? Make it quicker.
Just make it come up to the earth. Get you a quicker.
Yeah, but lots of international people, and all there with one common goal, and that is to G.I. Joe, action figure collecting, adult collecting. There were a lot of kids there too, but
there were a lot of kids there.
You could tell that the parents were the driving force. But they, everyone looked like they were having a good time.
I don't know about that because I know I saw a lot of kids there last year, and they were rummaging through action figures.
Oh, I'm not saying that they weren't into it, but I'm saying that the parents were like, "Let's go to Joe Fest," right? I can't imagine the kids like, "Let's go to Joe Fest, Dad." And Dad's like, "Oh, maybe." Like Adam took Grayson this year, and Grayson had like a haul of classified figures. But I think the overall positive experience was that we were with like-minded people, right? People that don't judge what you're doing, don't care that you're into action figures or movies or soundtracks or whatever, right? The positive collecting mentality of being around your people. And for the most part, it was I was having positive conversations with strangers, right? World PowerCon 2023 was August 11th to 13th. Okay.
Right. As well as the summer event.
Okay. Fair enough. All right. If it's around the same time, that'll be cool. And then Gazz, we're gonna after PowerCon we're off to Canada. All right. Take a block of time off because we're doing it.
All right.
But hanging out with people with the same collecting mentality, the people that were sitting at the booths, selling their wares, right? They
super friendly.
Super friendly. Yeah, exactly. And I've been in situations where you go to locally, mind you, where the vendors are they're not approachable, they're not friendly, and they seem like they don't even want to be there. Oh, BotCon. I almost forgot about BotCon. That's this weekend. Are you going, Andrew? Are you off to BotCon?
What's BotCon? The local one? Oh, really? Nice.
Yeah. Got to be. But yeah, I felt like I could stop and talk to anyone, even if it's just like what I'm looking at right in front of me, like, oh, man, check that out. And they're like, yeah, that's so cool. There was one vendor that had glass cabinets, and in those glass cabinets were like super rare things.
Yeah.
And I remember standing there with a bunch of people just in awe, going, "Oh man, I don't think I'll ever see these things in person again." And some of that was Star Wars. Some of it was G.I. Joe.
Yeah. But
there wasn't just G.I. Joe stuff there, which was great. And then you've got all the Carson was there talking about. His
Recall?
project,
Recall,
yeah, Operation Recall. So it was just how often do you get to hang out with your people, right?
Mm-hmm.
So I thought, yeah, that was a great experience. Hope to do it again. PowerCon next year.
I mean, it's like I said G.I. Joe, but I mean the reason that I went was because he's gonna meet up with all you guys, right? That was like my thing, and everything else was just a bonus. But I didn't expect the grandeur of that bonus. You know what I mean? Like it was
exactly
massive. It was massive.
It's like when I did the Savage race with Kelly, right? I didn't want to do a Savage race.
Yeah.
But I wanted to be there and hang out with them.
Yeah.
So let's do it, right? But if I was just going there by myself without knowing Kelly, I wouldn't have done a Savage race,
Right.
So if I was friends with you guys and I was a Transformers guy, right, and wasn't into G.I. Joe, I'd still go to Joe Fest to hang out with you guys.
Right.
And PowerCon is mostly, I believe, like He-Man, right? Masters of the Universe, PowerCon.
I guess there's a little more to it than He-Man, but I think it's centered around He-Man, I believe, right?
Right, like Joe Fest is centered around G.I. Joe, but it's got like a bunch of stuff. Like I found an O-ring pirate, for Pete's sake. Both Will and I came back with pirates. But yeah, I mean, if you're not into He-Man, you still want to hang out with the guys that you're hanging out with. But luckily, there is a bit of everything at Joe Fest for everyone. Great guests. But a lot of the conventions that we have here now are mostly like they've gone away from comics and action figures, and now it's mostly anime and cosplay.
Yeah.
Like cosplay can be cool, but it's not my thing, right? And anime is pretty cool, but it's not exactly my thing either. So it's like they're just like an easy miss here.
Yeah.
Is it Wednesday? No, it's Tuesday. It's Tuesday. It's Tuesday here.
Is it Tuesday?
It is.
Morning,
It's now Tuesday afternoon.
It's still Monday here.
From Tuesday morning to Tuesday afternoon.
You got about a half an hour before it's Tuesday.
Yeah.
Well,
Will is a tall man. I saw the photo of all the Delta 17 guys. At the booth, and he's like towering over them. And I did not anticipate how tall that man was going to be.
Yeah. That looked like a blast. That Delta 17 booth.
Twice as big as the original booth from last year.
Well,
maybe even bigger.
Yeah. But I mean,
I wonder if they sold all their product.
I think Ken said they went through a lot of stuff that they brought. Like going back with not so much stuff. They did some really good. What he tells me.
That's a big weekend.
Yeah, hopefully, like I said, it's more. I mean, you're taking a risk with the O-ring stuff, but I got a feeling, but I think they're gonna do really good.
So, the resurgence of O-ring, I think, happened independently through a lot of these different companies, right? Because they saw an opening for it. Right, it was like a perfect storm. They're like, people want O-ring. There's a lot of larger scale stuff out now, but people keep saying, "Where's O-ring? Where's O-ring?" So everyone's independently got this idea to bring out O-ring scale action figures, and they just so happen to be dropping in to availability all roughly at the same time.
I mean, even with Hasbro giving Super 7 the green light to make O-ring figures, it just tells you a lot about the what they're seeing in the market for it. So
man, I am so looking forward to those O-rings from Super 7.
I mean, we're gonna be getting
Enterprises with
just the fact that we're gonna be getting. I mean, I know there's a we have you have two G.I. Joe fans out there. You have the comic guys and you have the Sunbow guys. Me, I kind of dabble in the comic books, but more of it is the Sunbow. Because I watched that religiously as a kid, right? And just the thought of a lot of these O-rings coming out if they're going to be in the style of Sunbow figures, I'm just like, my mind's going like a million directions.
Oh, yeah.
Are we gonna get Satin? Are we gonna get Snake Eyes and Shipwreck dressed up as musicians? Right. Are we gonna get that like shady cop looking dude that was chasing him down in the Pyramid of Darkness? Remember the guy who was working for the city?
Oh, I'm also looking forward. They're gonna do the giant that Duke goes up against, right? They're gonna do that guy.
That dude. Yeah. And maybe the professor. The first one who built the whatever MacGuffin they were going after.
And you know what they can open it up to is they can include Action Force figures, right? What I love about the reaction figures, and Spacey's this is particularly for Spacey, is
Yeah.
that Space Commander can pick up 5 POA figures of Action Force characters that came out as G.I. Joe originally, right? Like they repainted the G.I. Joe, right? So
Yeah.
they went from 5 POA to having all of these points of articulation in Action Force. But now he can pick up a Red Laser or a Red Jackal in 5 POA like his original Action Force, right? But on the flip side of that, if they really wanted to, we could get potentially a not 5 POA, but what was originally 5 POA Space Commander action figure. We could have that, but now with multiple points of articulation in the
That would be
O-ring line.
awesome. That would be awesome.
Yeah.
Even this.
The Viper is
Dude.
Yeah, exactly. So
The
it
Viper
really does lend itself to a great mix of opportunities. And throw in some Transformers characters like Spike and Sparkplug and Dr. Arkaville.
Oh, the dude in the wheelchair, Spike's buddy in the wheelchair.
Chip?
Remember him? Is it Chip? Yeah. I mean, I'm thinking of stuff like Mike mentioned, the Viper, the window cleaner guy, or even like I just had him in my mind. The what's his name? Matthew Rook, the James Bond character.
Right. Yeah, I didn't know it was going on. Yeah.
And then the one the TV host that's supposed to be like Geraldo Rivera. You get
Right,
that
and he's in like Transformers, he's in G.I. Joe, he's in who was he in like Gem and the Holograms maybe?
yeah, he connects all three of them and stuff. Yeah. But it's so much. It opens the doors for so much stuff.
Oh yeah.
And I'm embracing. I'm ready for it. And hopefully they do vehicles. I mean,
the whole band. I need a break. The guy I just met who lives in my neighborhood just went to Joe Fest and he's going. Okay, so you're not going to the BotCon. Yes, Sarge on a wetsuit card. Man, I made a post saying that wetsuit was my favorite G.I. Joe because of the episode Ninja Holiday that Michael and I talked over for cartoon commentary. And some people came back and was like, there's no way wetsuit's your favorite character. I was like, watch the episode, guys. Check it out. Check it out one time, won't you? But that was a fun hangout, that cartoon commentary. One of my favorite episodes. There was a fun hangout talking about it. But yeah, they could do like a bunch of those competitors that were in Ninja Holiday. They could do because there was like a chef that was a boxer. There was a sumo guy. There was a cowboy dude. African tribesman.
Can we get Baroness and Disguise? Did you remember that she played that cowgirl in that one episode, and Wild Bill fell in love with her?
You know what? There are opportunities, and I'm surprised that they haven't done it to give Baroness alternate identities like they do with Zartan. But yeah, I don't. Who was Zartan supposed to be disguised as when he had that beard? It's like just original G.I. Joe, maybe.
I don't know. Maybe.
It's like you're gonna have a disguise because they brought him out later with like a Duke face, and they gave him a Storm Shadow face. So who's the bearded?
Same costume on. I used to use him. I'd be like, here's Zartan, and now here's Zartan in disguise and running around.
Right. Yeah. They did do Honest Gurgi?
Who's that one, dude?
Is that maybe who you were talking about?
Think of all the characters they can come up with. There's going to be a whole bunch of stuff. I'm going to be like 100% in.
Are there any versions of Duke that you want to see them do? Because I'd love to see the cartoon version of Sarge. And I know Triple T Sarge is close, but he needs a different colored campaign color.
Well, here I guess I have this one. I have two of their ultimate figures, just two.
Well, they bring out Duke. Didn't he have a lightsaber type weapon when he went up against the?
I got this Duke. So this is the animated Duke, right?
Yeah.
And I have a Snake Eyes, and I really would like the Snake Eyes. Like I can't get him. He's up there, but it's like the one from the original miniseries, and he's not wearing any gloves.
Yeah.
I want that one as an O-ring figure. And then
I guess they could go back and do the October Guard, like in cartoon.
Crazy.
That would be cool.
This is.
I want to get Horror Show, but the one that they brought out for O-ring style, that Horror Show is so expensive to get. But I love that look, so I really want to get. If they do that, I'd be so happy. But yeah, I really want that big giant guy that Duke goes up against. Like, and I hope they make him a bit of a taller figure.
They should do a multi pack of all the guys that were trying out for the Dreadnoks.
Yeah, that would be cool. That would be cool.
Right?
I'd be down for that. Yeah.
Like maybe 4 or 5
That'd be
figures.
cool.
Well, maybe 5 or 6 figures in the pack.
Yeah. Oh, what else
That'd be
can they do then? I mean, obviously they can put Mutt, Flint, and into Cobra uniforms. Yeah, Honolulu West. There was some Deke animation characters that I thought would be cool. There was one that looked like Prince Adam, and he was a Southern guy, I believe, that was joining Cobra for the wrong reasons, and he really wanted to join G.I. Joe. But it looks like Prince Adam. I think that would be pretty cool.
They need to do the Toy Master. The Toy Master.
I'm trying to remember
he's got to be
one
like a deluxe. He's got to be a deluxe O-ring figure because he's got to be kind of bigger than the rest. So he should probably stand about. He should probably be like a classified size O-ring figure, but he's got to be huge and hefty. You remember that,
I'm trying to remember who Toy Master was.
He kidnapped Flint, Lady J, Cobra Commander, and the Baroness, and had them on like a toy island. So it was like lakes of like cotton candy and stuff. And,
right.
Toy things trying to kill him and stuff. And then G.I. Joe and Cobra had to combine forces to take him on.
Well said, Andrew. I agree. Yeah, conventions are a great way to meet like-minded people. I agree.
Yeah.
Well said. And yeah, Big Lob.
Big Lob.
A Big Lob that isn't just a Mercer repaint, right? Game Master, guys. Game Master.
Is it the Game Master? I thought it was the Toy Master. I'm sorry.
I never question Pericles. Yeah, I believe Pericles is right 100% of the time, even if he's wrong.
Maybe that
I don't know. It's one of these, but a Dreadnought hideout.
Yeah, that little shack.
Yeah. I'm trying to think who else
They should come out with a cardboard shack, right? And then have like it'd be like a 2-set cardboard set, right? So you make a little shack, and then it's like a more detailed, like technical, with technology and computers and stuff base that like you can sit on a shelf, so you can have the shack on top, and then below it you'll have like the base because it'd be underneath. That'd be cool. Colonel Sharp will be cool too. Yeah, all those the brass that was in that episode where they cloned all the top brass and they defunded G.I. Joe. Remember that one? They should get all those guys.
You know what I want Old Snake would be cool, but I also want the original Serpentor the failed monster version, the one that didn't quite. Yeah. If they bring out that version of Serpentor, like what was that, like
a the proto monster guy, and all the crazy scientist dudes. We need all those guys. The crazy scientists. So Super 7, if you're listening, all those crazy scientist dudes, we need all those guys as well.
Bring all of those in.
All of them.
Admiral Ledger for the flag. Yes, exactly. Bring out a builder flag as well. If we can't get it all at once, give it to us in pieces. Whatever it takes.
That'd be funny.
But yeah, there are so many characters that were, and not just, and also like disguises for Zorana and for Baroness, like from the movie. Bring out, what's her name? No, who was the Cobra La girl? Pythona.
Yeah. I mean,
give us another Nemesis Enforcer. Give us a one worthy of going up against Sarge.
He's got to be tall. Have you seen the classified one?
Yeah, that looks pretty cool.
That looks good, right? Yeah.
Now that is a worthy opponent. But give us one of those. I'm all in for Cobra La too. Like, people talk shit about how G.I. Joe the movie went too wacky, but it was wacky before that. Duke was fighting a giant. They had fatal fluffies. They had strikers flying in space with special rockets attached to it. Guys, there was sci-fi all along. All right, sci-fi alone. They got zapped. They had you watch the cartoon and the original toys. They had rocket packs. Mm-hmm. It was always sci-fi. Yeah, they started off with Green Army men, but they always had sci-fi. And I think, they might have issues with the story or whatever, but I don't. I love it. But
I had to create my own headcanon where I used the G.I. Joe Sunbow series as like my base story, but they were all like, so all those stories told in the cartoons, they were all like media stories, so they were kind of lighter than they really were, so there's like a little more darker than they were. And then Cobra Law, the way I explained Cobra Law was that it wasn't like this ancient race of snake people, but it was like one of Cobra's main bases in the Himalayas. But this is where Dr. Mindbender chilled. This is where he hung out. And all that stuff that was in there, I didn't change any things that were in there, but all that stuff in there was like his crazy experiments, like mutated stuff and all that stuff. So right. Giant monsters and stuff. And I was like, yeah, that's cool. And then the whole Cobra Lot, and it goes further. But that's what I had come up with in my own mind. It's crazy.
Yeah, I don't mind that idea. I think that there's another opportunity to put all of the Joes in Arctic gear. Like I know they did that for some of the 25th line. Do that. Just give me the Joes. I mean, it could be like Duke just wearing that like winter jacket. That's it. Yeah, that's all I need to do. And all the Joes, you just a whole line of like that first wave of whatever Joes they come out with, and they'll be like, oh, here they are in winter gear and just wearing jackets. Mm-hmm. Yes, Hector Ramirez. That's him. Definitely need that. I'd use that for the comments.
I need to watch the cartoon again. I haven't watched it in a long time.
We'll start picking out character in the background, going, "Oh, that's a guy. Do that guy."
Just Super 7. Do exactly what Lucas did in the 80s. Just make a figure for everybody. The guy that was mad that people were trying to spy on his like vegetables because he was screwing him. That guy in the overalls. I want him.
Yeah. Also, take another crack at cross country.
Yeah, cross country.
Cartoon version of cross country would be cool. I
wonder if they're going to do vehicles. That'd be really cool.
I really want that transforming Triple T. If it's happening, I want to see it. I want it. Cup is a good choice.
Well, if you're not going to do Triple T, they should do Grimlock and just put Sarge, put a saddle on Grimlock and have Sarge ride Grimlock.
Yeah, that would be perfect too. But if they were going to make Grimlock turn into any of the Joe or Cobra vehicles, what do you reckon he would turn into?
Well, all right. I love Grimlock because he's a T-Rex. But if I were going to choose one vehicle, I'm going to say two vehicles, but I think one's too big. If I was going to choose one vehicle for Grimlock, a Joe vehicle worthy of Grimlock, I think it would be the Mauler.
Oh, yeah.
The Mauler. Or the Warthog, but I think that might be too big. So
Warthog, I would say would probably be my pick, if not the Rolling Thunder. But the Warthog as Grimlock would be cool because you could, instead of putting Warthog stickers on it, they can make it T-Rex.
Yeah. But so one or the other, yeah.
I love the Warthog so much. It's my favorite vehicle, not just because it comes. It's so good. I like the Triple T. I like the Equalizer. I love all that. But yeah, you know what? That is true too. Triple T-Rex.
That's true.
Yeah. A cold slither O-ring box set would be cool. So my version of Warthog Sarge has the helmet from Sergeant Savage with the Marine symbol on it. So much better than the campaign cover.
Yeah, I had to heat this hat up to put it on his head. And that's
they don't.
Yeah. But it's like,
but the Warthog is when I was filming it for the first episode of the SWC, I took it apart. I didn't buy it new, so I didn't put it together. But I was like, I want to see what the internals look like. I pulled it apart, and the panels that are in there, the dials, and all of those little doodads that you don't really appreciate until you take it apart. I don't recommend pulling it apart, but
inside the cockpit, yeah, there's a lot of stuff in
there.
So
good, and like they got a designated gunner seat, which is great. The computer panels where the guy sits sideways, I put as, and I don't know if it's official, but I make that as the guy that is operating the launchers.
Yeah.
But if you can take a good look at the inside, it's such a great troop transport too. You can fit like what?
It is.
Comfortably, you can
six
fit
guys.
6. Yeah, more
There's
of the cram.
6 guys in the seats, and then you can probably throw a couple in. Well, 6 guys in the back. You can probably throw a couple in the spot because it's an open area. Then Sarge and 2 other guys in the other 2 seats. So yeah, it's a.
They don't have pegs on the side of it though, do they? Or the back?
I don't think so. Let me pick it up here. Let him go, no. There you go. Nope, no, there's no pegs on it. No pegs on it whatsoever.
But how cool is that?
That is no. I got a core figure in there in the gunner seat.
Hey, it looks good though.
Yeah. I was gonna be my sidekick. It's gonna be my side driver for the Mauler, but I'm like, he looks good right there.
So there's a Action Force version.
It's still greener, right? It's greener. Yeah. I thought Steve from Joe Bird.
Yeah, that's the version he has.
Looking at yeah. But what a
Such
cool
a great
figure.
figure. If they could figure out a way to make that a Transformer, oh, so cool.
Who they make? Ironhide.
Ironhide would be a good pick too. Yeah.
Yeah. So I'm trying to think of a van, but yeah, that's
I feel like Warpath would be an easy one to do. You turning a tank into a robot.
Yeah, easy. You'd either be a Mauler or the
like obviously they're picking the popular up until Cup, right? So Sergeant Cup and Sergeant Slaughter makes sense, right? Up until Cup, if they do the Triple TS Cup, if that is a thing, that's probably the first time they're picking like a lower tier character. And I'm only saying lower tier because of popularity. One of my favorite characters is Cup. I had Cup as a kid. But obviously, like Bumblebee, popularity, right? You're picking Bumblebee for the Ore Striker. You're picking Megatron. You're picking Soundwave, right? But only because those are popular characters, not because it makes sense, right? They're popular characters. But I feel like if they were going to do, now that they've got like the 3 more popular ones, Grimlock would be the next logical step to make into a Transformer, being so popular.
Grimlock.
So I don't know.
I just don't know what they would make them like. I mean, I would love obviously the Mauler or that, but I mean, I'm thinking like other than that, I mean, the Vamp is a popular vehicle.
I was hoping if they were going to do Hound, then they would make him, because they did that for the old crossover before. It didn't transform.
That's why I'm kind of okay. That's why I'm okay with Bumblebee being the All Striker, because if you look at it, Bumblebee is like the quick, nimble little car, right? And All Striker is a quick, nimble little vehicle. And Hound would have been like my alternate choice for the All Striker would have been Hound, right? Because it's like a little Jeep. But
Beat Chroma was mentioned before, and I agree with that. But
Beat Chroma because he's a Doom Buggy, right? Yeah.
Right. But make him the Eco Warrior one. Andrew, good pick. I agree. Scarlett's whole family need to be action figures, and they are kick-ass.
Yeah, the whole family.
But I don't know. The Vamp. I would hope it would be Hound, but they would probably
just looking over there. The Slugger for Grimlock might be pretty good too.
Hey, that's true. All right, I can see that.
Yeah, because it's a hard hitting weapon. It's hard hitting. I mean, it's a howitzer on wheels, right? That's what it is.
I guess.
But again, but for me, Grimlock is and always should be a T-Rex. That's what he is. So if we're gonna do Grimlock in there, then he should be T-Rex.
Right, but if that's the case, then they should make the G.I. Joe figure. Yeah, but they should do it. Still make him a T-Rex, but make the G.I. Joe O-ring figure Spike or Sparkplug or someone from Transformers, right?
Yeah. Or if you're gonna cross over G.I. Joe, it'd be like I just straight out do it like Duke with Grimlock. You know what I mean?
Yeah, okay, I see you. So instead of a crossover, it's a twin pack.
Yeah, but I mean, whatever. I mean, probably
so the A10 Viper. Yeah, I do remember seeing that figure. That was actually pretty cool. But they brought out a Sky Striker Starscream that was just a repainted Sky Striker to look like
Oh
Starscream.
yeah, that was the one, and they had what was it was two, right? Because you had the Sky Striker. I think it was Hound.
Hound was the van.
Yeah, and they had
They
the Baroness.
did Shockwave.
And they had Baroness in that pack was Baroness, and I think she had Ravage.
Ravage on a chain.
Like, with a chain on, stuff like that. Yeah. So I mean, yeah.
They also did. I think Shockwave was his tank. They did. Who else did they do? They did someone else. I'm sure they did 3 or 4 of them.
I don't know. I just remember seeing that twin pack. That was it. I think Hound was the vamp.
I've still got the Hound. And I still use to this day the little blaster, the G.I. Joe scale blaster and cassette tapes. They actually are in the background of my SWC episodes.
I think like I like that they did the hiss. The hiss tank with Megatron, but I'm thinking like they should have, instead of the Baroness with him, it should have been Cobra Commander, right? And then they could have gave him like the little Megatron pistol, like in his hand.
They really missed out on not including that as a weapon for him, for even Baroness to hold.
Yeah,
that was a miss, because I believe the Starscream did come with a G.I. Joe scale Megatron gun, but they should have done that. That would have been so cool. But I do like that he does still have the what do they call that cannon? The what is Megatron's cannon called? It's not plasma cannon, I'm sure.
I have no idea. I don't even.
Either way, I like that they attach it to the top of the his tank, but it doesn't distract from the his tank.
Yeah.
I should have brought it in. It's out there. But they've got a removable panel from the back to cover up like Megatron's parts, but which they don't do for the back of this one. Which again, like I said, doesn't really bother me. It's just a callback to classic Transformers where the Autobot signs would be on it. I also I like that there isn't a cord or a what's that plastic tubing that they had on the thing. I like that they don't have it. Like you could still add one on there, but I like that they don't have it, because the way I see it is that this is a completely sentient being that doesn't need it. Right? He can is able to move without it. And that would be interesting in the play motion to go, oh man, we're not connected to the weaponry. And then it just starts moving on its own. Are you doing that? No, it's doing its thing. It's got a life of its own. Why do these seats feel like feet? You know.
Like feet. It's such
a
great toy. That's a great toy.
It is a great toy. I'll give it that. It's a good toy. It's not the best of the transforming ones. Does yours in robot mode? Was yours loose in the little in the middle, but it's not in the back?
I believe so. Yeah.
Yeah.
But I was having trouble with Transformers. Most people like it really. I get like, what's the word I'm looking for? Agitated when I'm transforming them, and then I stop and I just put them back and I just leave them that way. You know what I mean?
Megatron, I've got Megatron in hiss mode, but I think he looks superb in both hiss and robot mode. I love transforming that one, and they can be a little bit fiddly. Like this one, transforming it, I did not have fun. Trying to get all the connecting bits under here, all the tabs and stuff. I was like, oh, that's a nightmare. But Mike was saying this is a bit out there, but Roller as a Triple T and Optimus as the Warthog, since it's a transport fusion cannon. Thank you, the fusion cannon. And you had a name for it. What's Optimus Prime's gun? What's that one called?
He just has like that massive rifle.
Yeah, but it's also a good name.
Well, it should have names.
But I love the sound of Prime's gun. I love the sound of it, and particularly in Transformers. It was like pew pew pew. So good. I can't do it. Honestly. It's very good.
I guess Optimus Prime would be great.
It doesn't have the removable engine block, but I like that they've at least sculpted it in there.
Yeah, it's pretty clever. It's a good idea. Now you have Transformers at scale with your like 118 with your GI Joe figures that actually look cool.
Yeah.
That was the one thing that, like, when I was a kid with Transformers that, like, got me. Is like, they were cool, obviously. But I'm like, we play Matchbox, and these are way bigger than Matchbox. And even, like, the smaller ones, they look, like, weird with Matchbox. And then, then like, you would get GoBots, and, like, you know, you transform a GoBot, and you put it next to a Hot Wheel car, and you wouldn't know the difference. Like, which one's the GoBot?
I love
like,
GoBots.
Yeah, GoBots are great.
GoBots were called Machine Men here, though. They had a better theme song. Mighty Machine Men, Mighty Robots.
We just had the GoBots.
Right?
And they didn't need any guns. They just had the hand blasters.
Smart. And they started off with female characters. It's pretty cool. I had the Jurassic Park Transformer crossover set. Yeah, that one does look pretty cool.
Yeah, but that isn't that T-Rex is, who is that? That's not Grimlock, right? Because it came with the Ford Explorer or the Jeep. I think the Ford Explorer, right? The SUV.
I believe it was. I think they did both. I think they've done both.
Yeah, it's a
in
two-pack,
Transformers.
right? Yeah. So I'm like,
I don't know if the Jeep and the but they need to hurry up and make a Grimlock for you, mate.
Yeah. Well, I got plenty of them right here. I don't need another one. I got one that I built myself.
I that about side all the time.
Look,
yeah,
this one right here, I actually bought. It's a model kit, and I built them all by
That's
myself.
a model kit. That looks G1. Whoop.
Yeah, it's a model kit.
Does it transform?
Yeah, it transforms. Yeah, I don't like to transform them though, because I like them in this mode. But yeah, it's got all the bits and stuff, and to put them together.
I thought it had a name. I thought Prime's Gun had a name, like Fusion Cannon.
It's just a kid. He doesn't name his gun. Let's call it Winona.
Pew Pew Prime. Prime's Pew Pew.
Prime. I had a buddy that loved Optimus Prime, right? And they had like a train version of him, it's like a locomotive, right? And my other work colleague would razz him about it and be like, "Oh, did you get that Choo Choo Prime?" And you get like, oh, it's not Choo Choo Optimus. No, it's Choo Choo Prime because he's a train, getting.
Yeah, I love the sound of Prime's blaster and the sound of the fusion cannon. They nailed it, and I don't know, maybe it's nostalgia, but I just think that they sound so cool.
It just sounds cool. It sounds powerful when they shoot them up. It's like, oh crap, here comes that gun.
Well, that's why they had to, because they're so powerful. That's why they had to disarm Prime and Megatron at the beginning of the fight, right?
Yeah, and then get this crazy power up lightsaber weapons.
Yeah, well, yeah. I mean, only Megatron he pulls one out of somewhere.
We had a pistol, right?
Such a great battle. Yeah, and then he's got a pistol. What a cheat. The last Grimlock figure I got was the New Age Legend scale-ish Grimlock.
The last one I got was they just released this one. This guy right here.
There it is. I knew it had in there. Thanks.
I don't know what the name of the line is, but this is like the newer release Grimlock. It's not as
that's pretty cool. Like, it's hard to get Grimlock wrong, right?
It's got a good little. Yeah,
and
it's a cool little toy.
Nodsy with the Ion Blaster for Optimus. Thanks, bud. We need to catch up and do that Transformers talk on the soundtrack. We'll do that soon. I've been enjoying the soundtrack recently. So good. So good. All right, guys. I think we're coming up on a 3.5 hour mark, and lunch is on the stove. We're having breakfast for lunch. I'm doing bacon and eggs.
Hey, there's nothing wrong with that. Nothing wrong with that.
I'm a grown man. I eat what I want when I want.
That's right.
I mean, it has problems. Weight problems, maybe.
It's true enough. I hear that.
So we want to catch up with the fellas. Well, we're going to do Zellas with the fellas soon with Adam on his channel and go figure.
Yep.
So we're going to do Zellas with the fellas. We're also hoping to get together and talk UFOs as far as the next shoot the shit's going to be. Do you reckon we should do a separate episode or include it with the UFO episode with conspiracy theories? Should we dabble in a bit of conspiracy theories?
I guess we could kind of like merge the two into one, because I mean they go hand in hand, really. Conspiracy theories, unless we want to do like in depth, unless you want to talk about like certain types of conspiracy theories, like
Yeah,
you know,
true.
like,
All right, we'll keep them 2 separate episodes.
all right, yeah.
But we will do that. I do have the next episode of the Slaughterhouse Wrestling Championship almost finished. I'm almost done. I'm so close I can taste it. So close I can taste it. I have hit up Gazz to throw me some lines. So whenever you want, Gazz, send that over, but do it soon.
I'll start working on it. Yep.
Yeah, thanks, mate. I'm hoping to have it done by this weekend. I want to have it done by this weekend. So we'll see how I go. I've got all the stuff filmed. I've got most of the lines that I need attached. I've got to do some lines for a buddy of ours, Data Links Magnus. He's got a stop motion coming up, and now that I've got my voice back and I feel a bit better, I'm gonna do the lines for him. I'll send those over to him today, hopefully. What else have we got coming up? Incoming transmission should be soon, so we can talk to Space Commander about some of this stuff. But I feel like we also got something else coming up. What are we missing? Maybe another Toy Biz soon.
I think so. Yeah. We're gonna talk to the guys about Joe Fest.
That's what it is. We'll catch up with the guys and see how their Joe Fest was. They got some cool pickups that'd be cool to see.
Yeah. Oh, he froze. Well, let's give him a second. If he doesn't come back, we'll just end the stream here. And I don't think he's coming back. And nope. All right, so we'll see you next time, guys. Have a good night, and there's to you guys. Have a good night. Ciao.
Where did everybody go?
Hello, I'm back. Hi, guys. Bye.
Hello.
You're cutting out, man.
Yeah, I know. Let's just call it Gazz.
Bye, buddy. Have a good night. Bye, everybody.
Thanks, everyone.
Ciao. Have a good night. Woo.
They're back. We're back, but we're gone. All right, I'll play the outro. It's a sign to say it's time to go. But thanks, guys. We'll see you soon, buddy. Love you.
Hey man, no strangers here. These times I hold them dear. Doors open, so come on in. Yeah, that was great. Let's do it again. Do you wanna come over? Just like the old times, we'll hit pause and then hit rewind. You wanna come over? Just like the old days, and we'll watch the time just fly. Do you wanna come over? Just like the old times, we'll hit pause and then hit rewind. You wanna come over? Just like the old days, and we'll watch the time just fly.
Because knowing is half the battle.
Space Commander.